Hey there, you made it. I'm so happy you're here, ready to listen to a quiet story. Picture this, you're all snug, maybe wrapped in a soft blanket, warm and cozy. Or maybe you're like me sometimes, with one leg sticking out from under the covers because you like a little adventure, just a tiny bit of cold air to keep things exciting. That's okay. Whether you're curled up tight or letting your toes feel the breeze, you're in the perfect spot right now. Welcome to this moment where it's just you, me, and a story that's going to feel like a warm hug. Before we dive into our tale, I want to know something about you. It's like a little secret we can share just between us. Where are you listening from? Are you in a big city with lights twinkling outside, or maybe a small town where the stars are super bright? Are you in your bedroom, or maybe on a couch with a pet snoozing nearby? And what time is it where you are? Is it late at night when the world feels quiet and still, or maybe early evening when the sky is turning soft purple? I love hearing your answers. It's like getting a little note from a friend. I read them when I'm up way too late, like a sleepy raccoon poking through old stories looking for something special. Your words make me smile, so tell me, where are you and what's the clock saying? Tonight we're going to talk about something calm and a little magical. Why winters in feudal Japan were brutal. That's our story, and it's going to take us to a faraway place a long, long time ago. We're going to slip into a quiet village in Japan way back when houses were made of wood and straw, and winters were so cold they could make your nose tingle. The snow falls soft there, covering everything like a big white blanket, and the night waits patiently, ready to wrap you up in its quiet. It's a place where people worked hard, but they also knew how to rest, how to find warmth in the coldest times. So let's get cozy and step into that world together, okay? Imagine you're sitting by a small fire, the kind that crackles and pops like it's telling you a secret. The air outside is chilly, but you're safe and warm. That's what this story is like. It's a safe place to rest your mind. Feudal Japan was a time when life was simple but tough. People didn't have fancy things like we do now. No phones, no heaters, no big stores, just small houses, fields covered in snow, and families who stuck together to stay warm. Winters were hard, really hard. The wind would howl and the snow would pile up so high it could cover your knees. But even in that cold, people found ways to feel cozy, to sleep deeply, to dream under the stars. Let's think about that village for a moment. Close your eyes if you want, or just imagine it in your head. Picture a little house with a roof made of straw, like a big hat keeping the snow out. The walls are wood, maybe a little creaky when the wind blows. Inside, there's a family all bundled up in simple clothes, maybe with scarves wrapped around their necks. They're sitting close to a fire, and the light flickers on their faces, making them look soft and sleepy. Outside, the snow is falling, slow and quiet, like tiny feathers drifting down from the sky. It's so peaceful, isn't it? You can almost hear the snowflakes landing, so soft you have to hold your breath to notice. That's where we're going tonight. We're going to walk through that village, step by step, and see what it was like to live in a winter so cold it made your fingers ache. But don't worry, this isn't a scary story. It's a gentle one, full of little moments that make you feel warm inside, even when the world outside is freezing. We'll meet someone special, someone who lived in that village, who knew how to find comfort in the cold. Her name is Hana, and she's just a regular girl, not a princess or a warrior, but someone who knows how to make a fire glow and a bed feel like home. Before we meet Hana, let's stay here for a bit, just you and me. I want you to feel like you're part of this story. Maybe you're imagining yourself in that village with snow crunching under your feet. Or maybe you're just happy to be where you are under your blanket listening to my voice. Either way, you're exactly where you should be. This story is for you to help you relax, to let your mind wander like a snowflake floating down. Winters in feudal Japan were tough, but they were also beautiful in their own way. The people there didn't have much, but they had each other, and they had the night, which always came to hold them close. Let's talk a little more about that night. In feudal Japan, the night was special. There were no bright lights to keep you awake, no screens flashing or cars rumbling by. When the sun went down, the world got quiet. The stars came out, twinkling like little candles in the sky. The snow made everything even quieter, like the world was holding its breath. People didn't fight the dark, they let it in. They knew it was time to rest, to pull their blankets close and let the cold night wrap around them. It's hard to imagine now when we have so many things to keep us busy, but back then the night was like a friend saying, "Come on, it's time to sleep." I wonder what it would be like to live like that, to know that when the sun sets it's time to slow down. No homework to finish, no emails to check, just you in the quiet. Maybe you're feeling a little of that now wherever you are. Maybe the room you're in is getting softer, the edges blurring as you listen. That's what this story is for, to help you feel that quiet, that calm. We're going to take our time moving slowly through the village, through the snow, through the night. There's no rush. Stories like this don't need to hurry. They unfold like a flower opening, one petal at a time. So where are you right now? I'm picturing you somewhere cozy, maybe with a pillow that's just the right amount of squishy. Are you in a big bed or maybe a sleeping bag on the floor? Is there a window nearby letting in a little moonlight? Or maybe you're in a car listening as the road hums along. Wherever you are, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're letting this story wrap around you like a warm scarf. And what time is it? Is it one of those late nights where the world feels like it's just you and the stars? Or maybe it's afternoon and you're stealing a moment to rest. Tell me in your mind, or maybe whisper it out loud if you're alone. I'm listening like a raccoon with its ears perked up, waiting for your story. Let's talk about that raccoon for a second. I always think of myself as a sleepy raccoon when I'm up late, working on these stories. Raccoons are funny, aren't they? They're sneaky and curious, poking around in the dark looking for treasures. That's me when I'm finding stories to share with you. I dig through old books, old ideas, looking for something that feels just right for a night like this. And this story about winters in feudal Japan feels like a treasure. It's not loud or flashy, it's quiet like the snow. It's a story about people who faced really hard winters, but still found ways to smile, to rest, to dream. Let's set the scene a little more. Imagine you're standing outside that village. The air is cold, but not the kind that hurts. It's the kind that makes you pull your coat tighter and feel alive. The ground is covered in snow, and it sparkles a little when the moonlight hits it. The houses are small, with smoke curling up from their chimneys. You can smell the wood burning, a warm, smoky smell that makes you want to go inside. Somewhere a dog barks, but it's a soft sound, not scary. The village feels like it's sleeping already, waiting for you to join it. In feudal Japan, winters were a big deal. They weren't just cold, they were brutal. That's a strong word, I know, but it fits. The snow could pile up so high it blocked doors. The wind could sneak through cracks in the walls, making you shiver. People had to work hard to stay warm, to keep food on the table, but they didn't give up. They chopped wood, they sewed warm clothes, they shared what they had, and when the day was done, they knew how to rest. They didn't need fancy beds or perfect houses. They just needed a place to lie down, a place to feel safe. That's what I love about this story. It's about finding comfort in hard times. It's about knowing that even when the world is cold, you can find warmth. Maybe you're feeling that now wherever you are. Maybe your blanket feels like a shield against the world, or maybe the sound of my voice is like a little fire, keeping you cozy. I hope so. This story is meant to make you feel safe, to make you feel like you can let go and rest. Let's think about Hana again, our friend in the village. She's not here yet, but she's waiting for us. She's probably sitting by her fire right now, her hands wrapped around a bowl of warm soup. Her hair is tied back and her eyes are sleepy, but she's smiling. She knows the winter is tough, but she also knows how to make it through. She's got a straw mat to sleep on, a family to snuggle with, and a fire to keep the cold away. We'll meet her soon, and she'll show us how she lives, how she finds joy in the little things. But for now, let's stay here, just you and me. Let's imagine the snow falling outside that village. Each snowflake is tiny, but together they cover everything. They make the world look new, like a clean piece of paper. That's what winter was like in feudal Japan, a time when the world slowed down, when people had to stop and rest. The snow made it hard to go anywhere, so they stayed home, stayed close. They told stories, they fixed things, they slept. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Slow down, stay close, and let the story carry us. I keep thinking about where you might be. Maybe you're in a place where it's snowing right now, or maybe it's warm and sunny. Maybe you're somewhere far from Japan, or maybe you've been there and seen the snow yourself. Wherever you are, I want you to feel like you're part of this village, just for tonight. You don't need to do anything special. Just listen, just breathe, just let the story wrap around you. The winter in feudal Japan was brutal, but it was also a time for rest, for dreaming, for finding warmth in small things. Let's talk about that warmth for a minute. In those little houses, people had fires to keep them cozy. They didn't have big furnaces or electric heaters, just a small pit in the floor where they burned wood. The fire would crackle and glow, sending shadows dancing on the wall. Everyone would sit close, sharing the heat. They'd talk or sing or just sit quietly, watching the flames. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough. It made them feel safe, like the cold couldn't touch them. I bet you have something like that in your life. Maybe it's not a fire, but something that makes you feel warm and safe. Maybe it's your favorite blanket, or a mug of hot cocoa, or the sound of rain outside. Maybe it's just knowing someone loves you even if they're far away. Those little things are like the fires in Hana's village. They don't need to be big to make a difference. They just need to be there, steady and warm. Let's go back to the village for a second. Imagine you're walking down the path, your feet crunching in the snow. The houses are close together like they're huddling for warmth. The snow is deep, but someone's cleared a little path just wide enough for you to walk. You can see lights in the windows, soft and yellow like candles. The air smells clean, like cold water and pine trees. It's so quiet you can hear your own breathing, slow and steady. This is where our story lives, in this quiet, snowy place. I'm so glad you're here with me. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. It's like we're sitting together by that fire, sharing a story. You don't have to say anything, but I feel you there, listening, imagining. It makes this story better knowing you're part of it. So tell me again in your mind, where are you? What time is it? Is it dark outside, or is the sun just setting? Are you alone, or is someone nearby maybe snoring softly? I'm picturing you, and it makes me smile, like that sleepy raccoon finding a shiny treasure. Let's talk about why winters were so brutal. The cold was part of it, sure. It could get so cold your fingers felt like they'd never warm up. But it wasn't just the cold. It was the way everything slowed down. The fields were frozen, so there was no farming. The roads were covered in snow, so it was hard to go anywhere. People had to stay home, save their food, and hope they had enough wood to keep the fire going. It was a time when you had to be careful, but also a time when you learned to rest. Rest was important in that village. People worked hard all day, chopping wood, fixing roofs, cooking food. But when night came, they didn't stay up late worrying. They knew the dark was for sleeping. They'd pull their blankets close, lie down on their straw mats, and let the night take over. It's kind of nice to think about, isn't it? A time when the world told you it was okay to stop, to close your eyes, to dream. I wonder if you're feeling sleepy yet. Maybe your eyes are getting heavy, or maybe you're just relaxed, letting the words wash over you. That's perfect. This story is meant to be like a soft wave, carrying you closer to sleep. We're not in a hurry. We've got all night to explore this village, to walk through the snow, to meet Hana and her family. But for now, let's just stay here in this moment with the snow falling and the fire crackling. Let's imagine that fire again. It's small, just a few logs burning low. The flames are orange and yellow, dancing like they're happy to be there. The smoke curls up, disappearing through a hole in the roof. The room smells like wood and warmth, maybe a little like the soup they ate earlier. Everyone's sitting close, their knees touching, their voices soft. They're not talking about big things, just little stuff like how the cat chased a shadow or how the snow looks like a big fluffy blanket. It's simple, but it feels good. That's what I want this story to feel like for you. Simple and good. You don't need to think hard or figure anything out. Just listen, just let the words float around you. The village is waiting, and it's a kind place even if the winters were brutal. The people there knew how to take care of each other, how to make the cold feel less scary. They had their fires, their blankets, their stories. And now we're part of that, you and me, sharing this story across time. Let's think about the snow one more time. It's falling so softly, like it doesn't want to wake anyone. Each flake is tiny, but they add up, covering the ground, the roofs, the trees. It's like the world is getting ready for sleep, tucking itself in. In feudal Japan, people saw the snow as a sign to slow down. They didn't fight it, they let it cover them, let it make everything quiet. Maybe you can feel that quiet now wherever you are. Maybe the world around you is slowing down just for a little while. I'm so happy to be here with you. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. You're making this story special just by listening. So one last time, tell me in your mind, where are you? What time is it? Are you feeling cozy, maybe a little sleepy? I hope so. We're about to step into that village to meet Hana and see what her winter nights were like. But for now, let's just sit here in the quiet with the snow falling and the night waiting. Our story starts here in this soft, gentle place, and it's going to carry us all the way to dreamland. Close your eyes for a moment, or just let your mind wander. Picture a tiny village in Japan, way back in time, maybe around the 1400s. This is a place where winters are cold, so cold you can see your breath puff out like little clouds. Snow falls soft and quiet, covering the roofs of small houses. These roofs aren't like the ones we have today. They're made of straw, tied together tight, like big cozy hats for the houses. The snow sits on them, light at first, then heavier, making everything look like a big white blanket tucked over the village. The air is chilly, sharp, like when you touch something cold and it stings a little. It's not mean, just crisp, waking you up even when you're sleepy. There's no warm air blowing from a heater, no bright lights flipping on with a switch. Nope, none of that. Just you, the cold air, and a small fire glowing in the middle of the house. That fire is like a friend, keeping the dark away, making little crackling sounds as it burns. It's not a big fire, just enough to warm your hands and make your cheeks feel rosy. Life here is so different from what we know now. There are no cars zooming by, no phones buzzing, no TVs playing loud shows. People live simply. They're farmers who grow rice in the warm months, or weavers who make soft cloth with their hands. Families stick close together like birds in a nest, sharing warmth and stories. The winter is tough, really tough. It's not just cold, it's brutal. That's a big word, but it fits. The snow piles up so high it can cover your knees, sometimes even your waist. The wind sneaks through tiny gaps in the walls, whispering chilly secrets. But the people in this village, they don't fight the cold. They learn to live with it, like making friends with a grumpy cat who still likes to cuddle. Let's walk closer to one of those houses. Can you imagine it? The snow crunches under your feet, soft and squeaky, like stepping on a big pile of sugar. The house is small, made of wood and straw, with a low door you have to duck to get through. Smoke curls up from the chimney, twisting into the sky like a gray ribbon. It smells like burning wood, warm and smoky, the kind of smell that makes you want to sit down and stay a while. The windows aren't glass, they're paper, thin and delicate, letting in just a little light, soft and pale like the moon. Inside, it's cozy, but not fancy. The floor is packed dirt, smooth from years of feet walking over it. In the middle, there's that fire we talked about, burning in a little pit. It's the heart of the house, keeping everyone warm. Around it, people sit on mats, maybe sewing or fixing tools. They're dressed in simple clothes, layers of cotton or hemp tied with belts. The clothes aren't new or shiny, but they're warm, patched with love where they've worn thin. Everyone's clothes, knees touching, voices soft. They're not in a hurry. Winter slows everything down, like the world is taking a long, deep breath. This village is quiet, especially in winter. In summer, there's noise, birds chirping, people working in the fields, water splashing as they pull buckets from the well. But now, the snow muffles everything. It's like the world is whispering, "SHH, be still." The fields are frozen, covered in white, so no one's planting or picking. The roads are buried under snow, so no one's traveling far. Everyone stays close to home, close to the fire, close to each other. It's a time to rest, to fix things, to wait for spring. Let's think about what that feels like. Imagine you're standing outside looking at the village. The snow is falling, slow and gentle, like tiny feathers floating down. Each flake is so small you can hardly see it, but together they make the world look new. The houses huddle close, like they're sharing secrets. The trees are bare, their branches dusted with snow, looking like they're wearing white scarves. Somewhere you hear a soft sound, a creak from a house, maybe a dog barking far away. It's so quiet you can hear your own breathing, in and out, slow and steady. People here don't have much, not like we do. No refrigerators full of food, no stores to run to for snacks. They have what they grew in the summer, rice, barley, maybe some dried fish or beans. They keep it in big clay jars, buried in the ground to stay safe. Every day they check those jars, counting carefully to make sure there's enough to last until spring. It's a little scary sometimes, wondering if the food will run out, but they don't let that worry keep them awake. They know winter is hard, but they also know how to keep going. The houses are simple, but they're home. The walls are wood, sometimes with mud packed in to keep the wind out. The roofs are thick with straw tied tight to stay strong against the snow. Inside, there's not much furniture, no big couches or fancy beds. Just straw mats on the floor, maybe a wooden box for clothes or tools. The fire pit is the center of everything. It's where they cook, where they warm their hands, where they sit to talk or just be quiet. The fire makes shadows dance on the walls, like little stories playing out in the dark. Winters in this village are long. They start when the leaves fall and don't end until the snow melts months later. That's a long time to be cold, to stay inside, to wait. But the people here are used to it. They know how to make the best of it. They chop wood before the snow gets too deep, stacking it high outside the house. They sew warm clothes, patching old ones with bits of fabric. They share what they have, food, blankets, even stories. If one family runs low on rice, another shares a little. If someone's fire goes out, a neighbor brings a burning stick to start it again. That's how they survive together. Let's imagine one of those families. There's a mom and dad, maybe a grandma and a couple of kids. They all live in one room, sleeping close to stay warm. The kids might giggle or fight, but they're happy to be together. The grandma tells stories about when she was young, about winters even colder than this one. The dad fixes a broken tool, his hands steady in the firelight. The mom stirs a pot of soup, the steam rising like a warm cloud. It's not a big life, but it's full of little moments that matter. The cold is always there, though. It sneaks in through the cracks, makes your toes curl up tight. You can't escape it, not really. Even inside, you feel it, like a guest who stays too long. But the people in this village know how to handle it. They wear extra layers, wrap scarves around their necks, and keep the fire going. They move slow, saving their energy, because winter is like a long race. You have to pace yourself to make it to the end. Let's picture the village at night. The sun goes down early in winter, so it's dark by the time they finish their work. The sky is clear, full of stars that sparkle like tiny fires. The snow glows a little in the moonlight, making everything look soft and dreamy. The houses are dark, except for the flicker of firelight through the paper windows. Everyone's inside, getting ready for bed. They don't stay up late, not like we do. When the dark comes, it's time to rest. The night is like a big, soft blanket, telling them to close their eyes. Sleep is important here. It's how they recharge, how they get ready for another cold day. They don't have soft mattresses or fluffy pillows. They sleep on straw mats, maybe with a thin blanket or two. It's not fancy, but it's enough. They curl up close, sharing warmth, listening to the wind outside. The snow keeps falling, piling up around the house, making it feel like they're in a cozy cave, safe from the world. Let's think about that snow again. It's so quiet when it falls. No loud noises, no cars, no radios, just the soft pat-pat of snowflakes landing. It's like the world is whispering, "Hush, it's time to rest." The people in the village listen to that whisper. They don't try to stay awake or do more work. They let the night take over, let it wrap them up. It's a simple life, but it's honest. They work, they eat, they sleep, and they do it all again tomorrow. In this village, everyone has a job. The farmers don't farm in winter, but they fix things, tools, clothes, the house. The weavers make cloth, their hands moving slow and steady. The kids help too, carrying wood or sweeping the floor. Even the animals have a place. There's a cat to catch mice, maybe a dog to bark at strangers. Everyone works together like pieces of a puzzle fitting just right. It's hard, but it's also warm, knowing you're needed, knowing you're part of something. The cold makes everything harder. Water freezes in the well, so you have to break the ice to get it. Wood gets damp, so it's tough to start a fire. Food has to be saved, measured out carefully so it lasts. But the people here don't complain much. They just do what needs doing. They chop the wood, they break the ice, they share the food. And when the day is done, they rest. They know the cold won't last forever. Spring will come, slow but sure, and the snow will melt away. Let's imagine standing outside one of those houses again. The snow is deep now, up to your ankles. The air is so cold it makes your nose tingle. But you can see the firelight through the window, soft and warm. You can hear voices inside, low and quiet, maybe someone laughing. It's a small sound, but it feels big in the quiet night. You know there's a family in there, safe and warm, ready to sleep. They've worked hard all day, and now they're letting the night take care of them. That's what life was like in this village. It was simple, but it was full. The winters were brutal, with snow and cold that could make you shiver just thinking about it. But the people didn't let it stop them. They found ways to stay warm, to stay fed, to stay together. They built fires, they shared blankets, they told stories. And when the night came, they rested. They didn't need fancy things to feel okay. They just needed each other and the quiet and the dark. Let's step a little closer to one of those homes. There's someone waiting for us, someone who knows this village like the back of her hand. Her name is Hannah, and she's going to show us how they survived the winter, how they found warmth in the cold, how they slept under the snowy sky. She's just a regular girl, but she's got a smile that feels like a fire, warm and bright. So let's go meet her, slow and easy, as the snow keeps falling and the night gets deeper. Let's meet someone special now, someone who lives in this snowy village we've been talking about. Her name is Hannah, and she's a farmer's daughter. She's not tall or big, just a small girl, maybe as tall as your shoulder if you're standing next to her. Her hands are rough, like tree bark, from working in the rice fields when the weather was warm. She used to pull rice plants from the muddy ground, her fingers sinking into the wet earth, back when the sun was high and the air was soft. But now it's winter and the fields are covered in snow, so her hands are busy with other things, like carrying wood or sweeping the floor. Hannah's got a smile that's warm, like a little fire in the cold. Her laugh sounds like a tiny bell, soft and clear, the kind that makes you want to smile too. But tonight her eyes are heavy, like they're ready to close. She's tired from a long day and the cold makes her move a little slower, like she's walking through a dream. She's wearing a scarf, a thick one her mom made from old cloth. It's wrapped around her neck, and when she steps outside, snowflakes land on it, sticking like little stars. She loves how they look, so pretty and delicate, even if her toes are so cold they feel numb, like they're hiding inside her straw sandals. Hannah's not a hero, not like in stories with dragons or warriors. She's just a girl, a regular girl who knows how to do simple things really well. She can stack firewood in a neat pile, each log fitting just right so it doesn't fall. She knows how to sweep the floor of her house, making the dirt smooth and clean. She's good at tying knots to fix things, like when the straw on the roof gets loose. These aren't big jobs, but they matter. They keep her family warm, their house safe, their bellies full. And right now, as she sweeps the floor, she's yawning, her broom moving slow, her mind already thinking about her straw mat where she'll sleep tonight. Let's follow Hannah through her day, slow and steady like walking through deep snow. Imagine you're right there with her in her little house in the village. The house is small, with wooden walls and a straw roof. It's cozy inside, but the cold still sneaks in, making little chills run down your back. The fire in the middle of the room is burning low, just a few logs glowing orange. It smells like smoke and wood, a warm smell that makes you want to sit close. Hannah's there, her broom in her hands, sweeping the dirt floor. The broom makes a soft shhshh sound, like a whisper, and it's nice to listen to, like a song that helps you relax. Hannah's family is nearby. Her dad is fixing a wooden bucket, his hands strong and careful. Her mom is sewing a patch on an old coat, her needle moving up and down, slow and steady. Her little brother Taro is playing with a stick, pretending it's a sword even though he's supposed to be helping. Hannah smiles at him because he's only little and she knows he'll help when he's ready. There's a cat too named Momo, curled up by the fire. Momo's fur is soft and gray and she purrs like a tiny rumble, happy to be warm. This is Hannah's world, her family, her house, her little jobs that keep everything going. Outside, the snow is falling, soft and quiet. Hannah can see it through the paper window, which lets in a little light, pale and gray like the sky. The snowflakes are tiny, like bits of fluff, but they keep piling up outside. Hannah loves the snow even if it makes her toes cold. She likes how it makes everything look clean and new, like the world is starting over. Sometimes, when no one's looking, she sticks out her tongue to catch a snowflake just to feel it melt, cold and quick. It makes her giggle, that soft bell sound, and it feels like a secret between her and the winter. Hannah's day starts early when the sky is still dark. She wakes up on her straw mat, which is spread on the floor. It's not soft like a bed with pillows, but it's warm from her body and her family sleeping close. She can hear Taro breathing, slow and steady, and her parents snoring a little. The air is cold, so she pulls her blanket tighter, not wanting to get up yet. But she knows she has to. There's work to do, even in winter, and Hannah's good at doing her part. She gets up, her feet touching the cold dirt floor. It's like stepping on ice, and she wiggles her toes to warm them. She puts on her clothes, simple pants and a top made of cotton with a jacket and her scarf. They're not new, but they're warm, and that's what matters. She ties her hair back with a piece of cloth because it's long and gets in her eyes when she works. Then she goes to the fire, which is almost out, just a few red embers glowing. She adds a log, careful not to wake anyone, and blows on it gently until it catches. The fire crackles, happy to be awake, and the room feels a little warmer. Hannah's first job is to check the water. The family keeps a big clay jug by the door, but in winter it freezes overnight. She has to break the ice with a stick, careful not to crack the jug. The water is cold, so cold it makes her fingers ache, but she doesn't mind too much. She knows the family needs water to cook and drink, so she does it quietly, her breath making little clouds in the air. She carries the jug inside, setting it near the fire to warm up. It's heavy, but Hannah's strong, even if she's small. Next, she sweeps the floor. The broom is made of straw tied to a wooden stick, and it's light in her hands. She moves slow because there's no hurry in winter. The shhshh of the broom is calming, like the sound of waves or leaves rustling. She sweeps the dirt into a pile, then pushes it out the door. The snow outside is deep, and she has to be careful not to let it blow inside. She likes this job because it makes the house feel clean, like a fresh start for the day. Hannah's mom wakes up while she's sweeping. "Good job, Hannah," she says, her voice soft and sleepy. Hannah smiles because she likes making her mom proud. Her mom starts making breakfast, maybe some rice porridge, warm and thick, with a little dried fish on the side. The smell fills the house, mixing with the smoky fire. Hannah's stomach rumbles and she realizes she's hungry. But she keeps sweeping because she wants to finish before she eats. Taro wakes up next, rubbing his eyes. He's only 6, so he's not much help yet, but he tries. "Hannah, can I sweep?" he asks, his voice small. She hands him the broom, knowing he'll just push the dirt around, but it's okay. She likes seeing him try. He giggles as he sweeps, making a mess, and Hannah laughs too, that soft bell sound. It's a happy moment, even if the house is cold and the day is long. The village is quiet this early. Outside, the snow keeps falling, covering everything in white. Hana can hear the wind, soft and low, like it's singing a lullaby. The other houses are waking up too. She sees smoke rising from their chimneys, curling into the gray sky. Somewhere a dog barks and a rooster crows, even though it's too cold for him to be happy about it. Hana likes these sounds. They make the village feel alive, even in the middle of winter. Hana's family doesn't have much, but they have enough. They have rice and barley stored in jars, buried in the ground to keep safe. They have a few dried fish, some beans, and a little salt. It's not a lot, but they share it carefully, making sure it lasts until spring. Hana helps check the food every day, counting the jars with her mom. It's a serious job because winter is long and they can't run out. But Hana doesn't worry too much. She trusts her parents, and she knows they'll figure it out. When she's done sweeping, Hana sits by the fire to warm her hands. The flames are small but bright, dancing like they're happy to see her. She holds her hands close, feeling the heat soak into her skin. It's nice, like a hug from the fire. Momo the cat comes over, rubbing against her leg, purring loud. Hana scratches her head and Momo closes her eyes, happy. It's a small moment, but it makes Hana feel warm inside, not just from the fire. Hana thinks about her straw mat a lot. It's where she sleeps, where she dreams, where she feels safe. It's not fancy, just straw woven together, laid on the floor. But when she lies down at night with her blanket and Taro snoring next to her, it feels like the best place in the world. She's yawning now just thinking about it. The day's only started, but she's already looking forward to night, when she can curl up and let the cold world fade away. Let's stay with Hana for a bit. She's not in a rush, and neither are we. Her day is full of little jobs, carrying wood, helping her mom, keeping Taro out of trouble. Each job is small, but together they make the house a home. The snow outside keeps falling, making everything quiet, like the village is wrapped in a big, soft blanket. Hana's tired, but she's happy. She knows how to live with the cold, how to find warmth in the little things. And tonight, when she's done, she'll sleep, dreaming of snowflakes and fires and the soft sound of her family breathing. Hana wakes up slow, like a flower opening its petals one by one. The first gray light of morning sneaks through the wooden shutters of her little house. It's not bright, not like summer when the sun jumps into the sky. No, this light is soft, pale, like a whisper. It creeps into the room, touching the straw mat where Hana sleeps. Her eyes open just a little, still heavy with sleep, and she lies there for a moment, listening. The house is quiet, except for the soft breathing of her family, her mom, her dad, her little brother Taro, all curled up nearby. Even Momo, the family's gray cat, is still asleep, her purrs like tiny snores by the fire. Hana's breath makes a little cloud in the air. You can see it puffing out like a small white ghost every time she breathes. That's how cold it is, even inside the house. The air feels sharp, like when you hold an ice cube too long. She doesn't want to get up yet. Her straw mat is warm from her body, and the blanket, old and patched but soft, feels like a hug. But she knows it's time. The village is waiting, and there's work to do, even if it's slow and quiet work in the winter. She sits up, careful not to wake Taro, who's curled up next to her, his knees poking out like little mountains under the blanket. The floor under her feet is cold, so cold it's like stepping on a frozen pond. It makes her toes curl up tight, trying to stay warm. She wiggles them just to feel them move and takes a deep breath. The air smells like smoke from last night's fire, mixed with the earthy smell of the straw mat. It's a good smell, a home smell, and it makes her feel safe, even if her toes are chilly. Hana reaches for her clothes, folded neatly by her mat. She pulls on her kimono, which isn't like the fancy ones you might think of, with bright colors and shiny silk. No, this one is simple, made of cotton, a little rough but warm. It's layered with a jacket and pants underneath, all tied with a cloth belt. She puts on one piece at a time, slow and careful, because the cold makes her fingers clumsy. The kimono is patched in places where her mom sewed it to fix holes. It's not new, but it's hers, and it keeps the cold away, like a shield made of cloth. She ties her hair back with a strip of fabric because it's long and gets in her eyes when she works. Then she stands up, stretching her arms, feeling the stiffness in her back from sleeping on the hard floor. The house is still dark, except for that gray light coming through the shutters. The shutters are wood with little gaps where the cold sneaks in. Hana doesn't mind too much, she's used to it. Winter is like that, it's cold, but it's part of life, like the snow outside or the quiet in the village. She steps over Taro, who's still sleeping, his mouth open a little, snoring softly. She smiles because he looks so small and cozy, like a puppy curled up in a blanket. The house is one big room, with the family all sleeping together to stay warm. Her parents are on the other side, their blankets rising and falling with their breaths. Momo the cat is by the fire pit, her tail tucked under her nose, dreaming of chasing mice maybe. Hana moves quietly because she doesn't want to wake anyone. Morning is her time to start the day, to get things ready before the house comes alive. The fire pit is in the middle of the room, a shallow hole in the dirt floor. Last night's fire is almost gone, just a few red embers glowing like tiny stars. Hana kneels beside it, feeling the faint warmth on her face. She picks up a stick and pokes the embers, gentle and slow, watching them flare a little. It's not exciting work, just careful, like petting a sleepy animal. She adds a small log from the pile by the wall, placing it just right so it catches. The fire crackles, a soft pop-pop sound, and a little flame dances up, bright and happy. Hana blows on it gently, her breath making the flames grow like she's waking them up. The fire is important. It's what keeps the house warm, what cooks their food, what makes the dark feel less scary. Without it, the cold would win, sneaking into every corner. Hana knows this, so she takes her time, making sure the fire is strong before she moves on. The smell of burning wood fills the room, smoky and warm, mixing with the cold air. It's a smell that says home, that says safety. Hana likes it, even if it makes her eyes sting a little. While the fire grows, Hana hums a tune. It's a song her mom taught her about cherry blossoms floating on a river. The words are soft, like a lullaby, even though they're about spring, which feels so far away right now. Winter is all snow and ice, no pink blossoms or warm rivers. But humming the song makes Hana feel good, like she's carrying a piece of spring inside her. The tune is simple, just a few notes up and down, like a bird singing. It's quiet, so it doesn't wake anyone, but it keeps her company as she works. Outside, the village is quiet, like it's still asleep. Hana can't see much through the shutters, but she knows what's out there. Snow covers everything, the ground, the houses, the trees. It's deep up to her ankles, maybe deeper in some places. The houses are huddled close, their straw roofs heavy with snow, like they're wearing big white hats. The air is still, no wind this morning, just the soft pat-pat of snowflakes falling. It's so quiet you can almost hear the snow land, light and gentle, like feathers dropping from the sky. Hana opens the shutters just a crack, letting in a bit more light. The cold air rushes in, sharp against her cheeks, but she doesn't mind. She likes seeing the village wake up. The sky is gray, not dark but not bright either, like a blanket of clouds covering the sun. The snow sparkles a little, even in the dim light, like someone sprinkled sugar over the world. There's no one outside yet, no footsteps in the snow, no voices. Just the village, quiet and still, waiting for the day to start. She closes the shutters and goes back to the fire, which is stronger now, the flames licking the log. The room feels a little warmer, not hot, but enough to take the edge off the cold. Hana's toes don't feel so numb anymore, and she wiggles them again, happy to feel them move. She sits for a moment, just watching the fire, letting its light dance in her eyes. It's a small moment, but it's nice, like a warm sip of tea on a cold day. Her next job is to check the water. There's a big clay jug by the door, but in winter the water freezes overnight. Hana grabs a stick and taps the ice on top, gentle so she doesn't break the jug. The ice cracks, a sharp sound in the quiet room. She scoops it out, her fingers stinging from the cold water, and sets it aside. The jug needs to be near the fire to stay liquid, so she carries it carefully, her arms strong from years of work. It's heavy, but she's used to it. She sets it down, close enough to warm, but not so close it cracks from the heat. The house is starting to wake up now. Taro stirs, mumbling something in his sleep, maybe about the stick he was playing with yesterday. Hana's mom rolls over, her eyes blinking open. "Morning, Hana," she says, her voice soft and sleepy. Hana nods, smiling because she likes being the first one up, the one who gets the day started. Her dad is still snoring, a low rumble that makes Momo twitch her ears. The cat stretches, her claws poking out, then curls up again, not ready to face the cold. Hana's stomach rumbles and she realizes she's hungry. Breakfast will be soon, maybe rice porridge, warm and thick, or a little dried fish with some barley. But first, she has one more job. She grabs a broom made of straw tied to a stick and starts sweeping the floor. The dirt is smooth but dusty, and she moves slow, making a little pile by the door. The shhshh of the broom is calming, like the sound of snow falling. She sweeps carefully because she wants the house to feel clean, even if it's just dirt under her feet. The village outside is still quiet, but Hana knows it won't stay that way. Soon other houses will wake up. Smoke will rise from chimneys and people will start their day just like her. They'll carry wood, check their food, sweep their floors. It's the same every morning, a rhythm that feels good, like a song you know by heart. Hana likes that rhythm. It makes the winter feel less scary, less brutal. It's just what they do day after day until the snow melts and spring comes back. Hana keeps humming her cherry blossom song, soft and low. It's a happy tune, even if it's about something far away. It reminds her that winter won't last forever. The cold is hard, but it's temporary. The fire is warm, her family is close, and her straw mat is waiting for her at the end of the day. She yawns, her eyes still heavy, but she's awake now, ready to keep going. The morning has begun, slow and steady, and Hana's right in the middle of it, doing her part to keep the house warm, the family safe, the day moving forward. Hana's day is like a quiet song made of small chores that fit together one after another. Each job is little, but together they keep her family warm and safe in the cold winter. The village is covered in snow, and everything feels slow, like the world is wrapped in a big, soft blanket. Hana moves through her tasks with care, her hands busy, her breath puffing out in little clouds. The cold makes everything harder, like trying to walk through sticky honey, but Hana keeps going one step at a time. Let's follow her, slow and steady, as she works through her morning in the snowy village. First, Hana needs water. The well is outside, just a short walk from the house, but in winter it's not easy. She wraps her scarf tighter around her neck because the air is so cold it stings her cheeks. Her sandals crunch in the snow as she steps out, the sound soft and squeaky like stepping on tiny bubbles. The well is a wooden frame with a rope and a bucket, sitting in a small clearing. Snow piles around it, making it look like a little hill. Hana brushes the snow off the edge, her fingers feeling the cold wood rough under her skin. She grabs the rope, which is stiff from the frost. It bites into her palms, making them sting like when you touch something too cold for too long. She pulls the bucket up, slow and careful, because the rope is heavy with ice. The water in the bucket is cold, with a thin layer of ice on top, like a shiny lid. Hana breaks it with her hand, the ice cracking with a sharp snap. The water is so cold it makes her fingers ache, but she doesn't stop. She needs this water for cooking, for drinking, for washing. It's one of her jobs, and she does it without complaining, even if her hands hurt. Hana carries the bucket back to the house, her arms strong but tired. The snow crunches under her feet, and the bucket sloshes a little, spilling cold drops on her sandals. She shivers but keeps going, her breath making little puffs in the air. The house looks cozy from outside, with smoke curling up from the chimney like a gray ribbon in the gray sky. She ducks through the low door, careful not to spill, and sets the bucket near the fire pit. The fire is burning now, thanks to her earlier work, and it warms her hands as she gets close. She sighs, a soft sound, happy to be back inside. Next, Hana grabs her broom to sweep the snow from the doorway. The snow piles up fast in winter, and if she doesn't clear it, it'll blow inside and make the floor wet. The broom is light, made of straw tied to a stick, and it whispers against the ground, a soft shhshh sound like leaves rustling. Hana sweeps slow, pushing the snow into a pile, then out into the yard. The cold makes her fingers stiff, so she has to grip the broom tight. Her scarf catches a few snowflakes, and she smiles because they look so pretty, like tiny stars stuck to the cloth. She likes this job even if it's cold. It makes the house feel clean, like a fresh start. The village is quiet as she sweeps. The other houses are waking up with smoke rising from their chimneys, but no one's out yet. The snow keeps falling, soft and steady, covering her footprints almost as soon as she makes them. It's like the world is trying to stay quiet, to let everyone rest a little longer. Hana doesn't mind the quiet. It feels peaceful, like the village is holding its breath, waiting for the day to start. She finishes sweeping and leans the broom against the wall, her hands red from the cold, but happy with her work. Back inside, Hana checks the rice store. The family keeps their food in big clay jars buried in the ground under the floor to keep it safe from mice and cold. She lifts a wooden board, careful not to let dirt fall in, and peeks inside. The rice is in a sack tied tight, and she counts the handfuls left. There's enough for now, but she knows they have to be careful. Winter is long and spring is far away. She checks another jar where they keep dried fish, small and salty like little treasures. She counts them too, her fingers brushing the rough scales. It's a serious job because food is precious, but Hana does it quietly, her mind calm. Her mom is awake now, stirring a pot over the fire. The The smell of rice porridge fills the room, warm and soft like a hug in a bowl. Hana's stomach rumbles, but she has one more job before she can eat. There's a hole in the wall, a tiny gap where the wind sneaks in, whistling like a naughty ghost. Hana grabs some straw from a pile in the corner and mixes it with mud from a bucket. The mud is cold, like wet clay, and it sticks to her fingers. She pushes it into the hole, packing it tight, then adds the straw to make it strong. It's not perfect, but it'll keep the wind out, and that's what matters. Each job is small, but they add up. Hana's day is like a chain, each chore a link that holds the family together. The cold makes everything slower, like her body is moving through thick honey. Her fingers sting, her arms ache, and her breath puffs out in little clouds, each one a sign of her effort. She's tired, and her body begs for rest, curling up on her straw mat by the fire. But there's always one more thing to do, one more job to finish. Hana doesn't mind too much. She knows these chores keep her family warm, keep the house safe, keep the winter from winning. Let's stay with Hana for a bit, watching her move through her tasks. She's back outside now, carrying more wood from the pile by the house. The logs are heavy and the snow makes her slip a little, but she's careful. She stacks them inside near the fire so they stay dry. The wood smells fresh like the forest, even though it's cold and damp. She arranges the logs neatly because she likes things to be tidy. It's a small thing, but it makes her feel good, like she's taking care of her family. The fire is burning brighter now, thanks to her work. It crackles and pops, sending little sparks up into the air. Hana sits for a moment, warming her hands, feeling the heat soak into her skin. Her brother Taro is awake, playing with a stick, pretending it's a horse. He's loud, but Hana doesn't mind. She likes his energy, even if it makes her laugh when he trips over his own feet. Her mom calls her over to help with the porridge, and Hana stirs the pot, the wooden spoon heavy in her hand. The porridge is thick, steaming, and it smells so good she can't wait to eat. But there's still more to do. Hana checks the door, making sure it's closed tight against the wind. She sweeps the floor again because Taro's been tracking in snow. She helps her dad move a heavy box, her arms straining but strong. Each job is small, but they're all important. They're like pieces of a puzzle, fitting together to make the day work. Hana's tired, her eyes heavy, but she keeps going, one tiny task at a time. The village outside is starting to wake up. Hana hears a neighbor's voice, soft and far away, calling to a dog. Smoke rises from other houses, curling into the sky. The snow keeps falling, covering everything in white like a big soft blanket. Hana's world is small, just her house, her family, her chores, but it's enough. She doesn't need more than this. The cold is brutal, but she knows how to live with it, how to keep moving, how to find warmth in the little things. Hana's body is starting to feel heavy, like it's ready to rest. Her fingers are cold, her back aches, and her yawns are coming more often. But there's always one more thing, a bucket to fill, a floor to sweep, a fire to poke. She doesn't rush because winter doesn't let you rush. It's slow, steady, like a river moving under ice. Hana follows that rhythm, her chore is a quiet song that carries her through the day. By the time the afternoon comes, Hana is tired, really tired. Her arms feel heavy, like they're made of stone from carrying wood all morning. She's been out to the woodpile by the house, picking up logs one by one, her hands cold and red from the frost. Each log is rough, with bark that scratches her skin, and they're heavy, making her shoulders ache. She carries them inside, stacking them neatly by the fire pit where they'll keep the flames going. The work is slow because the snow makes everything harder, and the cold makes her move like she's walking through thick mud. But Hana keeps going, one step at a time, because that's what she does. Her back is stiff now, like a board that won't bend. It's from bending over to sweep the snow from the doorway, from lifting the heavy water bucket, from pushing mud and straw into holes in the wall. Every little job adds up, making her body feel like it's ready to sit down and stay there. Her cheeks are red, not from blushing, but from the wind outside. The wind is cold, sharp like a little knife, and it bites her face when she steps out to do her chores. It makes her nose tingle and her eyes water, but she doesn't mind too much. It's just winter, and winter is always like this in her village. But here's the thing about being tired, it's not all bad. That tiredness is like a gift, a soft pull towards sleep. It's like when you've been playing outside all day, running and jumping, and your body feels ready to flop onto your bed. For Hana, it's the same. Her tired arms, her stiff back, her cold cheeks, they're all telling her that rest is coming. It's like a gentle tide, a wave that pulls you slowly toward the shore. She can feel it in her bones, a heaviness that says, you've worked hard and now you can rest. It's a good feeling, even if it comes with aches. The cold makes her bones creak, like the wooden floor in her house when someone steps on it. It's not a loud creak, just a quiet one, a reminder that her body is working hard to stay warm. The winter air is so chilly it sneaks into her joints, making them feel tight like they need a big stretch. But that cold also does something nice. It makes her want her bedding more than ever. Hana thinks about her straw mat laid out on the floor with her thin blanket folded on top. It's not a fancy bed, but it's warm from her body and it feels like home. The thought of curling up there with her family close makes her smile, even if her cheeks are still red from the wind. Hana sighs, a soft sound that gets lost in the wind. She's standing by the door now, looking out at the snow. It's falling steady, covering the ground in a thick white blanket. The village is quiet, with smoke curling up from the houses like little gray ribbons in the sky. Her breath puffs out in a little cloud and she watches it float away, disappearing into the cold air. She's tired, but she knows rest is coming. It's like a promise, something she can count on. The day is hard, but the night will be soft, and her straw mat is waiting. Let's stay with Hana for a bit in this quiet afternoon. She's done a lot already, carrying wood, sweeping snow, checking the rice, fixing the wall. Each job makes her a little more tired, a little more ready for sleep. The cold makes everything slower, like her body is moving through honey, thick and sticky. Her hands are cold, even though she keeps them close to the fire when she's inside. Her fingers sting from the rope she used to pull water from the well, and her arms feel like they've carried 100 logs, even though it was only a few. She's back inside now, sitting by the fire. The flames are low, just a soft glow, but they're warm and they make the room feel cozy. The fire pit is in the middle of the house, a shallow hole in the dirt floor with logs burning slow. The smell of smoke fills the air, mixing with the earthy smell of the straw mats. Hana's mom is nearby, stirring a pot of porridge over the fire. The steam rises, warm and soft, and it smells so good that Hana's stomach rumbles. She's hungry, but she's too tired to think about food right now. She just wants to sit, to let the fire warm her hands, to feel the heaviness in her body. Her little brother Taro is playing by the fire, poking a stick into the dirt, pretending it's a horse. He's not tired yet because he's little and full of energy. Hana, look, he says, holding up his stick. She smiles even though her eyes are heavy. Taro's voice is loud, but it's a happy sound like a bird chirping. Their cat Momo is curled up nearby, her gray fur soft in the firelight. She's sleeping, her tail tucked over her nose, and Hana wishes she could be that relaxed right now. But there's still work to do, always one more thing. Hana stands up, her back creaking like an old door. She needs to check the woodpile again because the fire eats logs fast in winter. She wraps her scarf tight and steps outside, the cold hitting her like a wave. The snow is deep up to her ankles and it crunches under her sandals. The wind is stronger now, blowing snowflakes into her face, making her blink. She squints, looking at the woodpile by the house. It's covered in snow like a big white hat, and she brushes it off with her hands. The snow is cold, sticking to her fingers, but she keeps going, picking up a few logs to carry inside. The logs are heavy and her arms ache as she carries them. She moves slow because the snow makes her slip and she doesn't want to fall. The house looks warm from outside, with light glowing through the paper windows, soft and yellow like a candle. She ducks through the door, her arms full, and sets the logs by the fire. Her dad looks up from fixing a tool and nods. "Good work, Hana," he says, his voice low and kind. Hana smiles, even though she's tired. It feels good to hear that, like a little spark of warmth in her chest. Back by the fire, Hana sits again, her legs folded under her. Her cheeks are still red from the wind and her hands are cold, even though she holds them close to the flames. The fire crackles, a soft sound that makes her eyes droop. She's so tired now, her whole body feels heavy, like it's ready to sink into the floor. But that tiredness is nice in a way. It's like a signal telling her that she's done enough for now, that sleep is close. It's like the tide she thinks about, pulling her gently toward her straw mat, toward rest. The cold outside is brutal, like a big, mean dog that won't go away. It makes her bones ache, her fingers sting, her cheeks burn, but it also makes the warmth inside feel better. When she's by the fire with her family close, the cold can't touch her. She thinks about her bedding, her straw mat, her thin blanket, the way they feel when she lies down. It's not a soft bed, not like a fluffy pillow, but it's hers, and it's warm, and it's enough. The thought of it makes her sigh again, a soft sound that mixes with the crackle of the fire. Hana's mom calls her over to help with the porridge. Hana stands, her legs slow and heavy, and takes the wooden spoon. She stirs the pot, the porridge thick and steamy, smelling like rice and warm. It's hard work because the spoon is heavy and her arms are tired, but she likes helping. Her mom smiles, and that makes Hana feel good even if her back is stiff. Taro is still playing, now pretending his stick is a boat floating on an imaginary river. Hana laughs a soft sound because he's so silly, even when she's tired. The afternoon is quiet, like the village is taking a nap. The snow keeps falling, covering everything in white. Hana can hear the wind outside, whistling through the trees, but inside it's warm and safe. Her family is here all together, and that makes the cold feel farther away. Her dad is sharpening a tool, the scrape of the stone against metal a steady sound like a heartbeat. Her mom is humming, a soft tune about cherry blossoms, the same one Hana was humming earlier. It's a small moment, but it's perfect, like a warm blanket wrapped around her heart. Hana's body is begging for rest now. Her eyes are heavy, her arms feel like they can't lift another log, her back creaks with every move. But she knows she's almost done for the day. The chores are slowing down, the fire is burning steady, and the house is warm. She thinks about her straw mat again, about lying down with Taro next to her, his little snores filling the air. She thinks about the blanket, patched and thin but warm, and how it feels when she pulls it close. Rest is coming, she knows it, and that thought makes her smile, even through the tiredness. The cold makes everything harder, but it also makes the warm things better. The fire feels warmer, the porridge tastes better, the blanket feels cozier. Hana's learned this, living in the village, living through winter. Her body is tired, but it's a good tired, the kind that means she's worked hard, that she's helped her family. It's like a gift, pulling her toward sleep, toward the quiet of the night. She sighs again, soft and happy, ready for the day to end, ready for rest to come. Hana's bed is not like the beds you might know, with fluffy pillows and soft mattresses. It's much simpler, but it's hers, and it feels like home. It's just a straw mat laid flat on the dirt floor of her little house. The mat is woven tight, made from dried straw that's been tied together with care. It's not soft like a cloud, but it's smooth, and it smells like the earth, like the fields where Hana works in the summer. That smell is warm and familiar, like a hug from the ground itself. On top of the mat, there's a thin futon stuffed with rice husks. The husks crinkle when she moves, like tiny whispers, and they make the futon a little bumpy, but it's okay. It's enough to keep her off the cold floor. Over the futon, Hana drapes a wool blanket. It's old, with patches sewn on from last winter, where the fabric tore and her mom fixed it with a needle and thread. The blanket is heavy, not light and fluffy, but it's warm, like a big hug that keeps the cold away. When Hana lies down, the mat makes a soft crinkle, like leaves crunching under her feet in the fall. It's a quiet sound, one that makes her feel cozy, like the house is singing her to sleep. The bed is cold at first, so cold it makes her shiver, like touching a frozen pond. But her body warms it up, slow and steady, like a stone soaking up the sun on a warm day. By the time she's settled, it's snug and warm, and it feels just right. Let's picture Hana's bed for a moment. Imagine you're in her house, a small room with wooden walls and a straw roof. The floor is dirt, packed smooth from years of footsteps. In one corner near the fire pit is Hana's straw mat. It's not big, just wide enough for her and her little brother Taro to share. The mat is yellow-brown like dried grass, and it's laid flat on the ground. The futon on top is thin, not thick like a fancy mattress, but it's stuffed full of rice husks, which make it rustle when Hana moves. The wool blanket is folded neatly at the end, waiting for her to pull it up. It's gray, with patches of different colors, brown, blue, even a bit of red, where her mom sewed it to make it last another winter. Hana loves her bed even if it's not perfect. It's not soft like a pillow or bouncy like a spring. It's hard, and sometimes she feels the floor underneath, especially if she rolls over too fast. But it's hers, and it smells like home. The straw mat has that earthy smell, like the fields after a rain. The rice husks in the futon add a faint grainy scent, like the rice she helps store in the clay jars. The wool blanket smells a little like sheep, warm and slightly scratchy, but it's comforting, like wrapping up in a big coat. Together, these smells make Hana feel safe, like she's exactly where she's supposed to be. When Hana lies down, the mat crinkles under her weight. It's a soft sound, like stepping on dry leaves in the woods. She likes that sound. It's not loud, not like a door slamming or a dog barking. It's gentle like a whisper, and it makes her feel sleepy. She pulls the wool blanket up to her chin, tucking it around her shoulders. The blanket is heavy, pressing down on her, but that's good. It makes her feel secure, like the house is holding her tight. The futon is lumpy with little bumps from the rice husks, but Hana doesn't mind. She wiggles a little, finding a spot that's just right, and her body starts to warm the bed. At first, the bed is cold, so cold it makes her toes curl up tight. The straw mat feels like ice against her back, and the futon doesn't help much at first. The wool blanket is chilly too, like it's been waiting in the cold all day. Hana shivers, pulling her knees up, trying to trap the warmth, but she knows it won't stay cold for long. Her body is like a little fire, warming the mat, the futon, the blanket. It's slow, like waiting for a pot of water to warm over the fire, but it happens. The straw mat gets cozy, the futon feels snug, and the blanket turns into a warm cocoon. It's like a stone soaking up the sun, slow and steady, until it's warm to the touch. Hana's house is small, just one room where the whole family sleeps. The fire pit is in the middle, its embers glowing soft and red like tiny stars in the dark. The light from the fire dances on the walls, making shadows that flicker and sway. Hana's mat is close to the fire, but not too close because she doesn't want to get too hot. Her parents sleep nearby, their mats spread out on the other side of the room. Taro, her little brother, sleeps right next to her, his small body curled up like a ball. Sometimes he kicks in his sleep, his feet poking her side, but Hana doesn't mind. It's part of sharing a bed, part of being a family. Momo, the family's gray cat, likes to sleep near the mat too. Sometimes she curls up at Hana's feet, her fur soft and warm, purring like a tiny engine. Other times, Momo sneaks onto the futon, nestling against Hana's back, stealing a bit of the blanket's warmth. Hana smiles when she feels Momo's weight because it's nice to have her close. The cat's purring is like a lullaby, soft and steady, helping Hana drift towards sleep. The bed isn't perfect, with its lumps and cold spots, but with Taro and Momo nearby, it feels just right. The room is quiet now, except for the fire's soft crackle and the faint whistle of the wind outside. The snow is falling, covering the village in a thick white blanket. Hana can hear it sometimes, a soft pat-pat against the roof, like tiny fingers tapping. The straw roof keeps the snow out, but it lets in the sound, and Hana likes that. It's like the winter is singing to her, telling her it's time to rest. The wooden walls creak a little, like the house is settling down for the night too. All these sounds, the crinkle of the mat, the purr of the cat, the crackle of the fire, mix together, making a cozy song that wraps around Hana. Hana's bed is close to the floor, so she feels the cold from the dirt sometimes. The straw mat helps, but it's not thick enough to block it all. She doesn't mind though, she's used to it, and the futon adds a little cushion. The rice husks inside shift when she moves, making that crinkle sound again like leaves rustling in a breeze. She pulls the wool blanket tighter, feeling its weight pressed down. It's patched and old, but it's warm, and it smells like the wool her mom carded and spun last year. The patches are like little stories, each one a memory of a tear fixed, a winter survived. Sometimes, Hana thinks about how different her bed is from the ones she's heard about in stories. She's heard tales of rich people far away who sleep on beds raised off the ground with soft cushions and silk blankets. That sounds nice, but Hana doesn't need it. Her straw mat is enough. It's not perfect, but it works. It holds her up, keeps her warm, lets her rest. She doesn't need silk or cushions to sleep well. She just needs her mat, her futon, her blanket, and the quiet of the night. When Hana lies down, she feels the day's work in her body. Her arms are tired from carrying wood, her back stiff from sweeping snow, her fingers sore from the cold rope at the well. But that tiredness is good. It makes the bed feel better, like a reward for a hard day. She stretches out, her legs relaxing, her shoulders sinking into the futon. The crinkle of the rice husks is like a friend saying, "You're home now." She pulls the blanket up, tucking it under her chin, and feels her body start to warm the bed. The cold fades, replaced by a cozy heat, like sitting by the fire. The fire pit is still glowing, its light soft and warm. Hana watches it for a moment, her eyes heavy. The flames are low now, just embers, but they're enough to keep the room from being too cold. Her parents are asleep, their breathing slow and steady like a quiet song. Taro is next to her, his small body warm against her side. Momo is at her feet, purring soft and low. The house feels alive, even in the quiet, with all these little sounds and warmth. Hana's bed is the center of it, her little spot in the world where she can rest and dream. The straw mat crinkles again as she shifts, finding the perfect spot. It's not soft, but it's smooth, and it holds her just right. The futon is thin, but it's better than the bare floor, and the rice husks make it feel like she's lying on a pile of grain, safe and snug. The wool blanket is her favorite part, heavy and warm, like a big hug from her mom. She pulls it close, feeling the patches under her fingers, each one a reminder of her family's care. The bed isn't perfect, but it's enough, and that's all Hana needs. The night outside is cold, the snow falling steady, but inside, Hana's bed is warm. She can hear the wind, soft and far away, like a whisper through the trees. The roof keeps the snow out and the walls keep the wind at bay. The fire's glow lights up the room, making it feel safe, like a little cave in the winter. Hana's eyes are closing now, her body sinking into the mat. The crinkle of the straw, the weight of the blanket, the warmth of her family, all of it pulls her towards sleep, slow and gentle, like a river carrying her downstream. Hana's bed is where she dreams, where she rests, where she feels safe. It's not fancy, not like a king's bed in a story. It's just straw, rice husks, and wool laid out on a dirt floor. But it's hers and it works. It holds her up, keeps her warm, lets her sleep. And in the quiet of the night, with the snow falling and the fire glowing, that's all she needs. It's enough. Hana doesn't sleep alone. Not in her little house, not in the cold winter nights of her village. Her bed, a simple straw mat on the dirt floor, is shared with her family, all close together to stay warm. The house is small, just one room with wooden walls and a straw roof that keeps the snow out. At night, when the fire burns low and the snow falls soft outside, Hana lies down with her little brother Taro right beside her. Taro is small, only 6 years old, and he curls up like a ball, his knees poking into Hana's side. It's not always comfortable, but it's cozy, and it makes her feel safe. Her parents are nearby, their mats spread out just a few steps away. Their breathing is soft, sometimes turning into snores, a low, steady sound like a song that helps Hana fall asleep. And then there's Momo, the family's old gray cat who loves to sneak onto Hana's mat. Momo nestles against Hana's feet, her fur soft and warm, purring like a tiny storm rumbling in the quiet night. All these bodies, Hana, Taro, her parents, Momo, make the small room feel full, crowded but warm, like being wrapped up in a big hug from the village itself. Let's picture this for a moment. Imagine you're in Hana's house, lying on a straw mat. The room is dark, except for the soft glow of the fire pit, where red embers shine like little stars. The air is cold, but the closeness of everyone makes it feel warmer. Hana's mat is in one corner, close to the fire but not too close. Taro is right next to her, his small body curled tight, his knees sharp against her side. He's wrapped in a thin blanket, his head tucked under it like a turtle in its shell. His breathing is soft, a little puff-puff sound, and sometimes he mumbles in his sleep, saying silly things like fish or snow. Hana's parents are on the other side of the room, their mats side by side. Her dad snores, a deep, rumbly sound like a faraway drum. Her mom's breathing is quieter, soft, and even like a gentle wave. The two sounds mix together, making a rhythm that fills the room, like a lullaby that doesn't need words. Hana loves this sound. It's like the house is alive, breathing with her family, keeping her safe in the dark. The straw mats crinkle when anyone moves, a soft sound like leaves underfoot, and it adds to the cozy feeling, like the house is whispering good night. Momo the cat is Hana's favorite nighttime friend. Momo is old, with gray fur that's soft but a little patchy. She loves to sleep close to Hana, usually at her feet, where her warmth feels like a tiny fire. Momo's purring is loud for such a small cat, like a storm you can feel but not see. It rumbles through the mat, tickling Hana's toes, making her smile even as her eyes get heavy. Sometimes Momo gets bold and crawls up to Hana's side, tucking herself under the wool blanket. Hana doesn't mind. Momo's fur is soft and her weight is comforting, like a small, warm pillow. The closeness of everyone keeps Hana warm. Winter nights are cold, so cold you can see your breath in little clouds, even inside the house. The fire helps, but it's not enough on its own. That's why they sleep so close, sharing their body heat like a gift. Taro's small body is warm, even if his knees are pointy. Her parents' breathing makes the air feel softer, like it's wrapping around her. Momo's purring adds a little extra warmth, like a spark that keeps the cold away. It's crowded with everyone so close, but it's not bad. It's safe, like being wrapped in the village itself, all the houses and people holding each other tight against the winter. Hana's straw mat is small, just big enough for her and Taro. It's woven from dried straw, smooth but not soft, and it smells like the earth, like the fields where Hana works in summer. The futon on top is thin, stuffed with rice husks that crinkle when she moves. The wool blanket is heavy, patched with bits of cloth from old clothes, but it's warm like a big hug. When Hana lies down, she feels Taro's warmth next to her, his knees poking her side, his breathing soft and steady. She pulls the blanket up, covering them both, and the mat crinkles, a quiet sound that makes her feel cozy. The room is dark but not scary. The fire's embers glow, casting a soft light that dances on the walls. The wooden walls creak sometimes, like the house is settling down for sleep. Outside, the snow falls, a soft pat-pat against the straw roof, like tiny fingers tapping a lullaby. Hana listens to these sounds, Taro's breathing, her parents' snores, Momo's purring, the fire's crackle, the snow's whisper. They mix together, making a song that wraps around her, pulling her towards sleep. Sometimes, Taro moves in his sleep, his knees jabbing Hana's side. She giggles softly because it's funny, even if it's a little annoying. She nudges him gently and he settles, his breathing slowing again. Her parents are close enough that she can hear them, but far enough that she doesn't feel squished. Momo shifts, her paws kneading the blanket, like she's making her own little bed. Hana loves these moments when everyone is close, when the room feels full of warmth and life. It's not a big bed, not a fancy one, but it's enough. It's home. The cold is always there, outside the house, waiting to sneak in. But inside, with Taro, her parents, and Momo, Hana feels protected. Their breaths mingle in the dark, little clouds of warmth that fill the air. The straw mat crinkles, the blanket keeps them snug, and the fire glows just enough to keep the cold away. Hana's eyes are heavy now, her body sinking into the mat. She feels Taro's warmth, hears her parents' snores, feels Momo's purring. It's crowded, but it's perfect, like being held by the whole village, safe and warm in the winter night. Hana doesn't mind sharing her bed. Taro's knees might poke, but his warmth is nice. Her parents' snores might be loud, but they're comforting, like a song she knows by heart. Momo's purring might tickle her feet, but it's a happy sound, like a tiny storm that's all love. The room is small, the mat is simple, but it's enough. Hana feels safe, like the cold can't touch her, like the winter can't win. She closes her eyes, listening to the sounds of her family, feeling their warmth, and lets the night take her to sleep. Hana lies on her straw mat, her wool blanket pulled up to her chin. The house is dark except for the soft glow of the fire pit, where red embers shine like tiny stars. The night is quiet, but it's not silent. It hums its own song, a mix of little sounds that wrap around Hana like a cozy lullaby. These sounds come from inside the house and outside in the snowy village. They're soft, gentle, and they make her eyelids heavy, pulling her closer to sleep. Let's listen with Hana, hearing the night's song, feeling it rock her like a boat on a calm sea. Outside, the wind sighs through the pine trees. It's not a loud wind, not like a storm that howls and shakes the house. No, this wind is soft, like a whisper, carrying tiny flecks of snow that tap against the straw roof. The sound is gentle, like someone brushing their fingers across paper, pat, 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 so quiet you have to listen hard to hear it. The pine trees sway a little, their branches rustling, like they're talking to each other in the dark. Hana imagines the snowflakes dancing in the wind, spinning and twirling before they land on the ground, adding to the big white blanket that covers the village. Inside the house, the fire pops softly. It's not a big fire anymore, just a few logs burning low, turning into ash. Every now and then a log shifts, settling into the embers, and it makes a little pop like a tiny firecracker. It's not loud, just a small sound, like a pebble dropping into a pond. The embers glow red and warm, and sometimes they crackle, like they're telling a story only they know. Hana likes this sound. It's warm, like the fire itself, and it makes the room feel safe, even when the cold is waiting outside. Somewhere far off, a neighbor's goat bleats. It's a funny sound, a little baa that floats through the night, like the goat is talking in its sleep. Hana smiles, her eyes half closed, imagining the goat dreaming of summer grass green and soft under its hooves. The goat lives in a shed next to a neighbor's house, probably curled up in straw to stay warm. Its bleat is soft, not sharp, and it comes and goes, like a friend saying hello from across the village. It's a sound that makes Hana feel like she's not alone, like the whole village is sharing the night with her. The wooden walls of the house creak, slow and quiet, like the house is breathing too. The creaks are soft, not scary, like the sound of a chair when you lean back in it. The walls are old, made of wood that's been there for years, holding up the straw roof. When the wind blows or when the cold makes the wood shrink, it creaks, like the house is settling down for sleep. Hana listens to these creaks, her head resting on the futon, and they feel like a hug from the house, saying, "I'm here, keeping you safe." Hana's family adds to the night's song. Her little brother Taro is curled up next to her, his knees poking her side. His breathing is soft, a little puff-puff like a tiny bellows. Sometimes he mumbles, saying silly things like fish or run, and Hana giggles quietly because it's funny to hear him talk in his dreams. Her parents are nearby, their mats close to the fire. Her dad snores, a low, rumbly sound like a faraway drum. Her mom's breathing is quieter, soft, and even, like a gentle wave. Together, their sounds mix with the fire's pops and the wall's creaks, making a song that fills the room. Momo, the family's old gray cat, is part of the song too. She's curled up at Hana's feet, her fur warm against Hana's toes. Momo's purring is like a tiny storm, a soft rumble that you can feel more than hear. It's steady like a heartbeat, and it makes Hana's mat feel even cozier. Sometimes Momo shifts, her paws kneading the blanket, and that adds a little rustle to the night's sounds. Hana loves Momo's purr. It's like a lullaby, rocking her gently, making her eyelids heavier and heavier. The night song is all around Hana, inside and outside the house. The wind sighs through the pines, carrying snowflakes that tap the roof. The fire pops and crackles, the embers glowing soft. The goat bleats far away, dreaming of summer. The walls creak like the house is alive. Taro's breathing, her parents' snores, Momo's purring, all these sounds weave together like threads in a blanket, wrapping Hana up. She listens, her eyes closing, her body sinking into the straw mat. The sounds are her lullaby, rocking her slowly, pulling her towards sleep. Let's stay with Hana for a bit, listening to the night. The house is small, with wooden walls and a dirt floor. The straw roof keeps the snow out, but it lets in the soft sounds of the wind and snowflakes. The fire pit is in the middle, its embers glowing, casting shadows that dance on the walls. Hana's mat is close to the fire, with Taro next to her, his small body warm and curled tight. Her parents are nearby, their breathing steady, their snores soft. Momo is at her feet, purring like a tiny engine, her fur soft against Hana's skin. The wind outside is gentle tonight, not too strong. It moves through the pine trees, making them whisper like they're telling secrets to the snow. The snowflakes fall light and quiet, landing on the roof with a soft pat-pat like tiny fingers tapping. Hana imagines the snow piling up, covering the village, making everything quiet and still. It's a peaceful sound, one that makes the world feel calm, like it's ready to sleep too. The fire's pops are irregular, coming and going like a conversation between the logs and the embers. Sometimes there's a big pop, like a spark jumping, and sometimes it's just a soft crackle, like the fire is whispering. Hana listens, her head resting on the thin futon, feeling the rice husks crinkle underneath. The fire's warmth is faint now, but it's enough to keep the room cozy, to make the cold feel far away. The smell of smoke mixes with the earthy smell of the straw mat, and it's a comforting smell like home. The goat's bleat comes again, soft and far off. Hana wonders what the goat is dreaming about. Maybe it's running through a field, eating fresh grass, or maybe it's just annoyed that the snow is so deep. She smiles, her eyes heavy, thinking about the goat's funny voice. It's a small sound, but it makes the village feel alive, like everyone and everything is part of the same night, sharing the same quiet. The walls creak again, a slow, low sound like the house is stretching before it sleeps. Hana likes this sound. It's not loud, not scary, just a reminder that the house is strong, holding them all safe. The wooden walls are old, patched with mud and straw in places, but they're sturdy. The straw roof is thick, keeping the snow out, letting only the softest sounds in. Hana feels like the house is her friend, creaking and breathing with her, keeping her warm in the winter night. Taro shifts beside her, his knees poking her side again. She nudges him gently and he settles, his breathing slowing. His puff-puff sound is steady like a little metronome, keeping time in the dark. Hana's dad snores, a deep rumble that makes her smile. Her mom's breathing is softer, like a sigh, and together they make a rhythm that fills the room. Hana listens, her eyes closing, feeling the warmth of Taro's body next to her, the weight of the wool blanket over them both. Momo's purring is the loudest sound close to Hana. It's not really loud, just strong for a small cat, like a tiny storm you can feel in your toes. Momo's fur is warm, her body curled tight, and her purring vibrates through the mat, making it feel alive. Hana wiggles her toes, feeling Momo's warmth, and it's like a little gift, making the bed even cozier. Sometimes Momo moves, her paws kneading the blanket, adding a soft rustle to the night's song. Hana loves this sound because it means Momo is happy, safe, and close. The night song is all around, inside and out. The wind sighs, the snow taps, the fire pops, the goat bleats, the walls creak, Taro breathes, her parents snore, Momo purrs. Each sound is small, but together they're big, like a choir singing softly. Hana listens, her eyelids so heavy they're almost closed. The sounds rock her like a lullaby, pulling her towards sleep. The house is warm, the village is quiet, and the night is gentle, holding her close. Let's listen a little longer. The wind outside is steady, moving through the pines, carrying snowflakes that tap the roof. The fire's pops are softer now, the embers settling into ash. The goat bleats again, far away, a funny sound in the quiet night. The walls creak slow and calm, like the house is breathing with Hana. Taro's puff, her dad snores, her mom sighs, Momo's purrs. They all mix together, making a song that's just for Hana, just for this moment. She listens, her body sinking into the mat, her eyes closing, and lets the night song carry her to sleep. Hana's sleep isn't one long stretch, not like a whole night without waking. In her time in her little village in feudal Japan, people often wake up in the middle of the night. It's normal, not strange at all. Hana opens her eyes in the dark, the house quiet and still. The fire pit in the middle of the room is just aglow now, a soft red light from the embers, like tiny stars that forgot to shine bright. The air is cold, but not too cold, because Hana's straw mat and wool blanket keep her warm. She lies there for a moment, listening to the quiet, feeling the stillness of the night. It's a peaceful moment, like the world is holding its breath, waiting for her to decide what to do next. Hana sits up slowly, careful not to wake her little brother, Taro, who's curled up beside her. His knees are tucked up, poking her side, and his breathing is soft, a little puff sound in the dark. The straw mat crinkles under her as she moves, a gentle sound like leaves crunching underfoot. It's not loud, just enough to remind her she's awake in her small house with wooden walls and a straw roof. The fire's glow lights up the room just a little, making shadows dance on the walls, soft and wobbly like ghosts that aren't scary. Hana likes this time, this midnight break, because it's quiet and calm with no rush or worry. She looks around the room. Her parents are nearby, their mats spread out on the dirt floor. Her dad's snoring is low, like a faraway drum, steady and deep. Her mom's breathing is softer, like a sigh rising and falling like a gentle wave. Momo, the family's old gray cat, is at Hana's feet, curled up tight, purring so softly it's like a whisper. The house feels alive, even in the quiet, with these little sounds, breathing, snoring, purring, and the faint crackle of the fire's embers. Outside, the snow falls, a soft pat-pat against the roof, like tiny fingers tapping a lullaby. The wind sighs through the pine trees, a gentle sound that makes the night feel big but not scary. Hana, not in a hurry. There's no rush in the middle of the night, no chores to do right now. The village is asleep, covered in snow, and the world feels like it's waiting, patient and kind. She stretches her arms, feeling the stiffness from her day's work, carrying wood, sweeping snow, stirring porridge. Her body is tired, but not too tired, just heavy in a nice way, like a blanket pressing down. She yawns, a big, quiet yawn, and her breath makes a little cloud in the cold air. It's a small moment, but it feels special, like the night is hers alone. Sometimes, Hana nibbles a bit of cold rice during her midnight break. There's a small clay bowl by the fire with leftover rice from dinner. She reaches for it, careful not to make the mat crinkle too loud. The rice is cold, a little sticky, but it tastes good, simple, and plain. She takes a small pinch with her fingers, chewing slowly, savoring the faint sweetness. It's not a big meal, just a tiny snack to quiet her stomach. The bowl is heavy in her hands, smooth and cool, and she sets it back down gently, not wanting to wake anyone. The rice makes her feel a little warmer, a little more settled, like her body is saying, "Okay, we're ready to rest again." Hana looks at Taro, still sleeping beside her. His face is soft in the fire's glow, his mouth open a little, his hair messy. She smiles because he looks so small and cozy, like a puppy curled up in a blanket. Sometimes she whispers to him during these midnight breaks, even though he's asleep. "Taro," she says softly, "tomorrow we'll sweep the snow again. Maybe you can help this time." Her voice is quiet like a secret, and Taro doesn't stir. He just breathes, puff puff, lost in his dreams. Hana likes these little talks even if Taro doesn't hear them. It's like planning the day, making it feel real even in the dark. The house is still but not silent. The fire's embers pop now and then, a tiny sound like a spark jumping. The walls creak slow and low like the house is settling down for the night. The snow outside taps the roof, pat pat, so soft it's almost nothing. The wind hums, a gentle sound through the pines like a song without words. Hana listens to these sounds, her eyes half closed, her body sinking into the mat. They're like a lullaby, rocking her gently, making her feel safe. The night is patient, not pushing her to do anything, just letting her be. Hana's straw mat is familiar, welcoming her back as she lies down again. It crinkles under her weight, a soft sound like dry grass. The thin futon, stuffed with rice husks, is lumpy but cozy, holding her just right. Her wool blanket is heavy, patched with bits of old cloth, but it's warm like a big hug. She pulls it up to her chin, tucking it around her shoulders, feeling the warmth of her own body trapped inside. Taro's warmth is next to her, his knees still poking her side, and Momo's purring vibrates at her feet. The mat feels like home, like a friend who's always there, ready to hold her as she drifts back to sleep. The fire's glow is fainter now, just a soft red light, but it's enough to make the room feel safe. The shadows on the walls are gentle, moving slowly like they're dancing to the night's song. Hana's parents are still snoring, her dad's deep rumbles mixing with her mom's soft sighs. Taro's puff-puff breathing is steady, like a little clock ticking in the dark. Momo's purring is a quiet rumble, like a tiny storm that's all love. Hana listens, her eyelids heavy, her body relaxing. The night is kind, letting her wake and sit and think, then inviting her back to sleep. Hana doesn't worry during her midnight break. There's no rush, no need to do anything big. The village is quiet, the snow falling, the fire glowing. She can just listen, just feel the warmth of her family around her. Sometimes she thinks about tomorrow, more wood to carry, more snow to sweep, more rice to check. But those thoughts don't keep her awake. They're soft like the snow, and they fade as she listens to the night's sounds. The mat crinkles again as she shifts, finding a cozy spot, and she feels the pull of sleep, gentle and sure. The midnight break is a special time, a quiet pause in the night. Hana likes it even if it's cold and dark. It's a moment to be still, to nibble a bit of rice, to whisper to Taro, to listen to the house and the village. The fires glow, the snows tap, the winds sigh, the family's breathing. All these things make the night feel alive, like it's holding her close. Hana yawns again, her eyes closing, her body sinking into the mat. The night is patient, and sleep is waiting, ready to welcome her back. Hana lies on her straw mat, her wool blanket pulled tight to her chin. The house is dark, quiet, and warm, with the fire pit's embers glowing like tiny red stars. Her little brother Taro is curled up beside her, his knees poking her side, his breathing soft and steady. Her parents are nearby, their snores a gentle rhythm, and Momo, the old gray cat, purrs at her feet, warm and soft. The small room feels cozy, like a nest, but Hana's mind is somewhere else tonight. On clear nights like this, when the snow stops falling and the air is sharp, she imagines the sky above the straw roof. It's a big, wide sky, full of stars that glitter like scattered rice grains, sharp and bright against the black. The cold makes them seem closer, like she could reach up and touch them, and the darkness feels alive, wrapping the whole village in a quiet hug. Hana lets this feeling pull her under, her thoughts softening, like snow melting in spring. The house is still, but the night outside is full of life. Hana can't see the sky from her mat, but she knows it's there waiting above the roof. The straw roof is thick, keeping out the cold and snow, but in her mind she pictures it gone like a curtain pulled back. She sees the stars, tiny and bright, like grains of rice tossed across a dark cloth. They sparkle, some bigger, some smaller, all shining in the cold winter air. The cold makes them look sharper, clearer, like they're closer than usual. Hana imagines stretching out her hand, her fingers brushing the stars, feeling their cool, twinkling light. It's a silly thought because the stars are so far away, but it makes her smile, her eyes heavy with sleep. The darkness of the night feels alive to Hana. It's not scary, not like a shadow that makes you jump. It's soft, like a big blanket that covers the village, tucking everyone in. The darkness is quiet, but it's full of little sounds, the wind sighing through the pine trees, the soft tap of a snowflake hitting the roof, the creak of the wooden walls as the house settles. These sounds mix with the ones inside: Taro's puff-puff breathing, her dad's low snores, her mom's gentle sighs, Momo's purring. Together, they make a song, a night song that wraps around Hana, making her feel safe and small, like a pebble in a big, calm river. Hana loves thinking about the sky. It's something she does when the night is clear, when the clouds are gone and the stars are out. She can't see them from inside, but she's seen them before on nights when she stepped outside to fetch wood or check the water. The sky was so big, so black, with stars scattered everywhere like someone spilled a bag of shiny beads. The cold air made her breath puff out in little clouds, and the stars looked so close she felt like she could scoop them up in her hands. Now, lying on her mat, she brings that picture back, letting it fill her mind, letting it make the small room feel bigger, like the whole world is with her. The straw mat crinkles as she shifts, a soft sound like dry leaves. It's not a fancy bed, just straw woven tight, laid on the dirt floor. The thin futon on top, stuffed with rice husks, is lumpy but cozy, and the wool blanket is heavy, patched with bits of old cloth. The mat smells like earth, like the fields where Hana works in summer, and the blanket smells a little like sheep, warm and scratchy. These smells, mixed with the smoky scent of the fire, make the room feel like home, like a safe place where Hana can let her thoughts wander to the sky. Hana imagines the stars again, glittering above the village. Each one is a tiny light, sharp against the black sky like a grain of rice that glows. She thinks about how many there are, more than she could ever count, more than the grains in the clay jars under the floor. The stars don't move, but they seem to twinkle like they're winking at her, saying, "We're here, Hana, watching you sleep." She likes that idea, that the stars are her friends, keeping her company in the dark. The cold makes them look brighter, like the winter air is polishing them, making them shine just for her. The darkness outside is deep, covering the village like a soft cloth. It's not a darkness that hides things, it's a darkness that holds them, keeping the houses, the trees, the snow-covered fields safe. Hana feels like the village is asleep, all the people and animals tucked in just like her. The darkness is quiet, but it's alive, full of little movements, the wind brushing the pines, a dog barking far away, the soft thud of snow sliding off a roof. These sounds are small, but they make the night feel big, like the sky is singing a song that only Hana can hear. Hana's thoughts are soft now, like snowflakes landing on the ground. She thinks about the stars, about the cold, about the village wrapped in darkness. She thinks about her family, so close to her, their warmth making the mat feel cozy. Taro's knees poke her side, but she doesn't mind. His breathing is steady, a little puff-puff, like a tiny wind. Her dad's snores are low, like a drum in the distance, and her mom's breathing is soft, like a whisper. Momo's purring is a quiet rumble, like a tiny storm at her feet. These sounds mix with the night's song, pulling Hana closer to sleep, making her thoughts melt like snow in spring. The fire pit's embers glow, casting a faint light on the walls. The shadows move slowly, like they're dancing to the night's rhythm. The wooden walls creak, a soft sound like the house is breathing with Hana. The straw roof keeps the cold out, but it lets in the faint tap of snowflakes, a gentle pat-pat that's almost too quiet to hear. Hana listens, her eyes closing, her body sinking into the mat. The night is patient, not rushing her, just letting her be, letting her imagine the sky and the stars. Hana thinks about the cold outside. It's brutal, like a big, mean dog that bites at your fingers and toes. But inside, it's different. The fire's warmth, her family's closeness, the heavy blanket, they all keep the cold away. The stars, even though they're cold and far, feel like friends shining down on the village, making the night feel less lonely. Hana imagines them watching her, their light soft and steady like candles in the sky. She feels like she's sleeping with the sky, like the stars are part of her bed, part of her dreams. The mat crinkles again as she shifts, finding a cozy spot. The futon's rice husks rustle, a soft sound that makes her smile. The wool blanket is warm now, heated by her body, and it feels like a big hug holding her tight. Taro's warmth is next to her, his knees still poking, his breathing calm. Momo's purring vibrates through the mat like a tiny heartbeat, and Hana wiggles her toes, feeling the cat's soft fur. The room is small, but it feels big with the sky in her mind, with the stars glittering above, with the darkness wrapping her up. Hana's thoughts are softer now, like snowflakes that melt when they touch the ground. She thinks about the stars, scattered like rice grains, sharp and bright. She thinks about the cold making them seem closer, like she could touch them. She thinks about the darkness, alive and quiet, holding the village. She thinks about her family, their warmth, their sounds, their love. These thoughts are gentle, not loud or fast, and they carry her towards sleep, like a river flowing slow and steady. The night sounds are all around her. The wind sighs through the pines, soft and far away. The snow taps the roof, a faint pat-pat like a secret. The fire's embers pop, a tiny sound like a spark saying goodnight. The walls creak slow and calm like the house is dreaming. Taro's breathing, her parents' snores, Momo's purring, they weave together, making a lullaby that's just for Hana. She listens, her eyes closed, her body heavy, her thoughts melting. The sky is above her, the stars are shining, and the night is pulling her under, soft and gentle, like snow falling in spring. Hana sits by the fire pit, her legs folded under her, the straw mat crinkling softly. The house is warm, even though the winter cold presses against the wooden walls outside. The fire glows, its embers red and soft, like little stars in the dirt floor. Hana's family is gathered close. Her mom, her dad, her little brother Taro, and even Momo, the old gray cat, who's curled up nearby, purring like a tiny storm. It's almost bedtime, but before they sleep, they share a small meal. It's not a big feast, not like a party with lots of food. It's simple, just a bowl of warm millet porridge, maybe with a tiny piece of dried fish. The steam from the porridge rises, warming Hana's nose, and it smells so good, like home. It's plain, but it fills her belly, making it feel heavy and comforting, like a warm stone. Sometimes there's a sip of weak tea made from roasted barley, and it's just enough to make Hana's eyes droop, her body ready to sink into her straw mat for sleep. The meal starts when Hana's mom stirs the pot over the fire. The pot is heavy, made of clay, and it sits on a small iron stand above the flames. The millet porridge bubbles softly, a gentle glug-glug sound like a little stream. Millet is a grain, small and round, not fancy like rice, but good for winter because it lasts a long time. Hana's mom adds water from a clay jug, and the grains soak it up, turning soft and thick. The steam curls up white and warm, and it smells earthy, like the fields where the millet grew. Hana leans closer, feeling the steam touch her nose, making it warm and a little damp. It's a cozy feeling, like the fire is sharing its heat with her face. Hana's dad passes out the bowls. They're small, made of wood, smooth from years of use. Each bowl is a little different. One has a chip on the edge, another has a dark spot where the wood is knotted. Hana's bowl is her favorite, with a little scratch that looks like a tiny tree. She holds it in her hands, feeling the wood's coolness at first, then the warmth as her mom scoops in the porridge. The porridge is thick, not runny, and it steams in the bowl, sending up little clouds that make Hana's mouth water. It's not sweet or spicy, just plain, but it's warm, and that's what matters in winter. Sometimes there's a sliver of dried fish to go with the porridge. The fish is small, no bigger than Hana's finger, and it's salty, with a tough texture that makes her chew slowly. The family keeps dried fish in a clay jar, buried under the floor to stay safe from mice. Hana's mom picks out a few pieces, one for each of them, and places them on a wooden plate. The fish smells strong like the sea, even though Hana's village is far from any ocean. Hana takes her piece, holding it carefully, feeling its rough, dry surface. She nibbles it, the salt waking up her tongue, mixing with the soft, bland porridge. It's not a lot of food, but it's enough to make her belly feel full, like a little drum. Hana's family sits close, their knees almost touching as they eat. The fire crackles, a soft pop-pop sound, and the light dances on their faces. Taro holds his bowl with both hands, his cheeks round as he chews. He's messy, with a bit of porridge stuck to his chin, and Hana giggles, pointing it out. "Taro, you're dirty," she whispers, and he sticks out his tongue, making her laugh. Her dad eats slowly, his big hands steady, his eyes half closed, like he's already thinking about sleep. Her mom eats neatly, her spoon moving smooth and careful, and she smiles at Hana, a quiet smile that says, "We're together, and that's good." The porridge is warm going down, spreading heat from Hana's throat to her belly. It's like a hug from the inside, making her feel heavy and calm. She eats slowly, scooping small bites with a wooden spoon, letting the warmth fill her. The dried fish adds a salty kick, and she chews it carefully, savoring the flavor. The bowl is small, so it doesn't take long to finish, but it's just right. Hana feels full, not stuffed, but satisfied, like her body is saying, "Thank you, now we can rest." Sometimes there's tea to drink after the meal. It's not fancy tea, not like the kind rich people might have. It's weak tea made from roasted barley, simple and plain. Hana's mom keeps a small bag of barley grains, toasted until they're brown and nutty, in a wooden box by the fire. She takes a pinch and puts it in a clay pot with hot water from the fire. The water turns a light brown and the smell is warm like toasted bread. Hana's mom pours the tea into small cups, one for each of them, even Taro, who holds his cup with both hands, blowing on it to cool it down. The tea is hot at first, so Hana sips it carefully, feeling the warmth on her lips. It tastes mild, a little earthy like the porridge, but with a hint of something toasty. It's not sweet or strong, but it's comforting, like a warm hand on her shoulder. The steam from the tea rises, tickling her nose, and she closes her eyes, letting the warmth spread through her. The cup is small, so there's only a few sips, but it's enough. It makes Hana's eyes feel heavy, her body soft, like she's ready to sink into her straw mat and drift away. The family eats quietly, not talking much. The fire's glow lights up their faces, and the house feels full of warmth, even though it's cold outside. The snow is falling, a soft pat-pat against the straw roof, and the wind sighs through the pine trees far away. Inside, it's just the crackle of the fire, the clink of spoons on bowls, the soft slurp of Taro drinking his tea too fast. These sounds are small, but they make the room feel alive, like the family is part of the night's gentle song. Hana finishes her porridge, scraping the last bit from the bowl. The dried fish is gone, just a salty taste left on her tongue. She sips the last of her tea, feeling the warmth settle in her belly, mixing with the porridge to make her feel heavy and cozy. Her eyes are drooping now, her blinks slow, like her eyelids are too tired to stay open. The meal wasn't big, but it was enough. It filled her belly, warmed her body, and made her ready for sleep, like a signal that the day is done. Taro yawns, a big loud yawn that makes everyone smile. He's leaning against Hana, his bowl empty, his eyes half closed. "Sleepy Taro," Hana whispers, and he nods, his head bobbing like a heavy flower. Her mom takes the bowls, stacking them neatly by the fire to clean tomorrow. Her dad adds a small log to the fire, making it flare up for a moment, sending sparks into the air. The room feels even warmer now, the light brighter, and Hana's body feels like it's sinking, ready to rest. Momo the cat stretches and moves closer to the fire, her purring loud in the quiet room. She looks at Hana with sleepy eyes, like she's saying, "Time for bed." Hana smiles, feeling the same way. The meal has done its job, filling her up, making her warm, calming her mind. She thinks about her straw mat just a few steps away, with its crinkly sound and earthy smell. She thinks about the wool blanket, heavy and patched, waiting to wrap her up. She thinks about Taro's warmth next to her, her parents' snores, Momo's purring, and the quiet night outside. The family moves slowly, getting ready for bed. Hana's mom puts away the teapot, her dad banks the fire, pushing the embers together to keep them glowing until morning. Taro crawls to the mat, already half asleep, his blanket trailing behind him. Hana stands, her legs a little wobbly from sitting so long, and stretches, feeling the warmth of the meal still in her belly. She walks to her mat, the straw crinkling under her feet, and lies down, pulling the blanket over her. Taro is already there, curled up, his knees poking her side, his breathing soft and steady. The house is settling down, the fires glow fatting, the room growing darker. The snow outside taps the roof, a gentle pat-pat like a lullaby. The wind hums soft and far away through the pines. Inside, the sounds are small Taro's puff-puff breathing, her dad's low snores, her mom's quiet sighs, Momo's purring. Hana listens, her eyes closing, her body heavy. The meal was simple, just porridge, a bit of fish, a sip of tea, but it was enough. It warmed her, filled her, made her ready for sleep. She sinks into the mat, the blanket heavy, the night quiet, and lets the warmth of the meal carry her to dreams. Hana lies on her straw mat, her wool blanket pulled up to her chin. The small house is quiet, filled with the soft sounds of her family settling down for the night. Her little brother, Taro, is curled up beside her, his knees poking her side, his breathing slow and steady like a tiny puff-puff. Her parents are nearby, their mats spread out on the dirt floor, their snores starting to hum like a gentle song. Momo, the family's old gray cat, is at Hana's feet, purring softly, her fur warm against Hana's toes. The fire pit in the middle of the room glows with red embers, but it's not bright anymore. Hana's father is banking the fire, piling ash over the embers to keep them alive until morning. As he does, the glow fades and the room grows darker, cooler. That's the signal, time to sleep. The last flicker of the fire dances on the wooden wall like a candle saying good night. Hana watches it fade, her breathing slowing, her eyes growing heavy, ready to drift into dreams. The fire pit is the heart of the house. It's a shallow hole in the dirt floor lined with stones where the family burns logs to stay warm. All day the fire burns bright, cooking their porridge, warming their hands, lighting the room. But at night it's time to let the fire rest, just like the family. Hana's father kneels by the pit, his hands steady and careful. He uses a small wooden scoop to pile ash over the embers. The ash is gray and soft, like snow but warm, and it covers the glowing red embers like a blanket. This keeps the embers alive, smoldering quietly through the night so they can be stirred back to life in the morning. Without the ash, the embers might die, and starting a new fire in the cold winter would be hard. Hana watches her father work, her head resting on the thin futon stuffed with rice husks. The mat crinkles softly as she shifts, a sound like dry leaves underfoot. The fire's glow is getting weaker, the red light shrinking like a star fading in the sky. The room feels cooler now, the warmth slipping away, but Hana's blanket is heavy and warm, keeping her cozy. Her father moves slowly, his hands gentle, scooping more ash, patting it down. The ash makes a soft shhshh sound like a whisper, and it smells smoky like the fire itself. Hana likes this smell. It's the smell of home, of safety, of nights when the family is together. The last flicker of the fire is beautiful. It's a tiny flame, no bigger than a candle, dancing on the edge of a log. It moves back and forth like it's waving to Hana, saying, "Good night, see you tomorrow." The flicker lights up the wooden wall, making shadows that wiggle and sway like little ghosts playing in the dark. The wall is old with knots and cracks, and the fire's light makes it look alive, like it's telling a story. Hana watches, her eyes half closed, her breathing slow. The flicker is so small, so soft, but it's enough to make the room feel warm, even as the glow fades. As the ash covers the embers, the flicker disappears and the room grows darker. It's not completely dark. There's still a faint red glow from the fire pit, like a sleepy eye watching over the family. The shadows on the wall stop dancing, settling into stillness, and the room feels quieter, cooler, like it's ready to sleep too. Hana's blanket feels heavier now, her body sinking into the straw mat, the futon crinkling softly. Taro's warmth is next to her, his knees still poking, his breathing steady. Momo's purring is a quiet rumble, like a tiny heartbeat, and Hana wiggles her toes, feeling the cat's soft fur. The house is full of little sounds, even as the fire fades. The wooden walls creak, a slow, low sound like the house is stretching before it sleeps. The straw roof keeps out the snow, but it lets in the soft tap of snowflakes, a gentle pat-pat like tiny fingers on a drum. Outside, the wind sighs through the pine trees, a faraway hum like a lullaby without words. Inside, Taro's puff-puff breathing mixes with her dad's deep snores and her mom's soft sighs. Momo's purring adds a warm note, like a melody that ties it all together. These sounds are Hana's nighttime song, rocking her gently, pulling her towards sleep. Hana's eyes are heavy now, her blink slow, like her eyelids are too tired to stay open. The fire's final flicker is gone, but she can still see it in her mind, dancing on the wall, saying goodnight. The room is darker, but it's not scary. The faint glow of the embers is enough, like a promise that the fire will be back in the morning. The coolness in the air makes her pull the blanket tighter, tucking it under her chin. The wool is scratchy but warm, patched with bits of old cloth, and it smells like home, like the sheep her mom sheared last spring. Hana thinks about the fire, how it's the heart of the house. All day it burns bright, cooking their food, warming their hands, lighting their faces. At night it rests, just like them, covered in ash, waiting for dawn. Her father's careful work, piling the ash, patting it down, makes sure the embers stay alive. It's a small job, but it's important, like all the little jobs Hana does, like sweeping snow or carrying water. These jobs keep the family safe, keep the house warm, keep the winter from winning. The straw mat is cozy under Hana, even though it's not soft like a fluffy bed. It's woven tight, smooth but firm, and it smells like earth, like the fields where Hana works in summer. The futon is thin, stuffed with rice husks that crinkle when she moves, like a secret whisper. The blanket is her favorite part, heavy and warm, like a big hug that keeps the cold away. Hana feels Taro's warmth next to her, his small body curled tight, his breathing calm. Momo's purring is steady, her fur soft against Hana's feet, and it makes the mat feel even cozier, like a little nest. The room is cooling now, the fire's warmth fading, but Hana doesn't mind. Her blanket is enough, her family is close, and the night is gentle. She thinks about the village outside, covered in snow, quiet and still. The houses are dark, their fires banked just like hers, their families sleeping under straw roofs. The pine trees stand tall, their branches heavy with snow, whispering in the wind. The sky is clear tonight, full of stars that glitter like scattered rice grains, sharp and bright. Hana can't see them, but she knows they're there, watching over the village, making the night feel big but not lonely. Hana's breathing is slowing, matching the rhythm of Taro's puff-puff, her dad's snores, her mom's sighs. The fire's final flicker is a memory now, a tiny flame that danced on the wall, saying goodnight. The embers are hidden under ash, but they're alive, waiting for morning. The room is dark, but the faint glow of the fire pit is enough, like a soft light that says, "You're safe." Hana's eyes close, her body sinking into the mat, the crinkle of the futon fading as she drifts. The night is quiet, the house is warm, and sleep is coming, slow and gentle, like a candle burning out. Let's stay with Hana a little longer, feeling the night settle around her. The fire pit is still, the ash piled high, the embers glowing faintly. The wooden walls creak, a soft sound like the house is dreaming. The snow outside taps the roof, pat-pat like a gentle rain. The wind hums through the pines, far away like a song without words. Taro's breathing is steady, his knees poking Hana's side, his warmth a comfort. Her parents' snores fill the room, a low, steady rhythm like a heartbeat. Momo's purring is soft, a tiny storm that's all love. Hana listens, her eyes closed, her breathing slow, and lets the fire's final flicker carry her to sleep. Hana sits on her straw mat, her knees tucked under her, the fire pit's embers glowing soft and red in the middle of the small house. The room is warm, even though the winter cold presses against the wooden walls outside. Her family is getting ready for bed, moving slow and quiet, like they're part of a gentle dance. Hana folds her scarf, smooths the blanket over her little brother Taro, checks the door's latch to keep the wind out, and listens as her mother murmurs a soft prayer to the hearth kami, asking for warmth tomorrow. These little acts are like steps in a dance, each one leading them closer to sleep. Hana yawns, her hands moving slower now, her eyes heavy, her body ready to sink into the mat and drift into dreams. The house is small, just one room with a dirt floor and a straw roof. The fire pit is the heart of the room, its embers glowing like tiny stars, casting a faint light on the wooden walls. Hana's family, her mom, her dad, Taro, and their old gray cat, Momo, is gathered close, their shadows soft in the dim light. The air smells like smoke and earth, a warm, cozy smell that makes Hana feel safe. Outside, the snow falls, a gentle pat-pat against the roof, and the wind hums through the pine trees far away. Inside, everything is quiet, slow, and calm, like the world is saying, it's time to rest. Hana starts her bedtime rituals by folding her scarf. The scarf is thick, made of cotton, a little worn but warm. It's been wrapped around her neck all day, catching snowflakes when she went outside to fetch wood or sweep the doorway. Now she takes it off, her fingers moving slow and careful. The scarf is soft with a few loose threads, and it smells like the cold air outside, mixed with the smoky warmth of the house. Hana folds it neatly, making a small square, and places it by her straw mat. She likes this job because it feels like putting the day away, like closing a book after a story. The folding is simple, but it's part of her dance, a step that says, the day is done. Next, Hana smooths the blanket over Taro. Taro is already on the mat, curled up like a ball, his knees tucked up, his eyes half closed. He's 6 years old, small and sleepy, with messy hair that sticks out like a bird's nest. The blanket is wool, heavy and patched with bits of old cloth, but it's warm like a big hug. Hana pulls it over Taro's shoulders, tucking it around him so no cold air can sneak in. The blanket feels scratchy under her fingers, but it's soft from years of use, and it smells like home, like the sheep her mom sheared last spring. Taro mumbles something, maybe about fish or snow, and Hana smiles because he's always talking in his sleep. Smoothing the blanket is a small act, but it feels big, like she's keeping Taro safe, helping him drift into dreams. Hana stands, her legs a little wobbly from sitting by the fire, and walks to the door to check the latch. The door is wooden, old, and creaky, with a simple latch made of wood and rope. The wind outside is cold, always trying to sneak in, whistling through any crack it can find. Hana's job is to make sure the latch is tight so the wind stays out and the warmth stays in. She pushes the latch down, feeling the wood's roughness under her fingers, and gives the door a little tug to test it. It holds firm, no gaps, no cold air sneaking through. The door creaks a little, a soft sound like the house is saying, "I'm ready for sleep too." Hana nods, satisfied, and turns back to the mat, her steps slow and quiet. Her mother is by the fire now, kneeling on the dirt floor, her hands folded in front of her. She's murmuring a soft prayer to the hearth kami, the spirit that lives in the fire. The kami is invisible, but Hana's mom says it's always there, keeping the fire warm, keeping the family safe. The prayer is simple, just a few words, asking for warmth tomorrow, for the embers to stay alive through the night, for the house to stay cozy. Hana's mom's voice is soft, like a whisper, and it blends with the fire's faint crackle, like they're talking together. Hana listens, her eyes heavy, feeling the prayer like a warm breeze wrapping around the room. It's a small ritual, but it's important, like a promise that tomorrow will be okay. These rituals, folding the scarf, smoothing the blanket, checking the latch, saying the prayer, are like steps in a dance, each one leading Hana and her family closer to sleep. They're not big or fancy, but they're special, like a song you sing every night. Hana yawns, her mouth opening wide, her hands moving slower now. She's tired, her body heavy from the day's chores, carrying wood, sweeping snow, stirring porridge. The rituals make her feel calm, like everything is in its place, like the house is ready for the night. Hana's straw mat is waiting for her, laid out on the dirt floor close to the fire pit. It's woven from dried straw, smooth but not soft, and it smells like earth, like the fields where she works in summer. The thin futon on top is stuffed with rice husks, crinkling when she moves like dry leaves. The wool blanket now covering Taro will cover her too, its weight warm and comforting. Hana sits on the mat, feeling it crinkle under her, and pulls her knees up, resting her chin on them. The fire's glow is faint now, the embers red and sleepy, like they're ready to rest too. The room is cooler, but the blanket will keep her warm, and Taro's body next to her will add more heat. Momo, the cat, is curled up near the mat, her gray fur soft in the fire's light. She's purring, a quiet rumble, like a tiny storm that's all love. Hana reaches out, scratching Momo's head, feeling the cat's warmth under her fingers. Momo leans into the touch, her eyes closing, her purr growing louder. It's a small moment, but it feels like part of the dance, like Momo is saying, "I'm ready for sleep too." Hana smiles, her eyes drooping, her hands slowing as she pets the cat. The purring mixes with the fire's crackle, the walls creaks, and her family's breathing, making a cozy song that fills the room. Hana's dad is the last to finish his rituals. He's by the fire, banking the embers, piling ash over them to keep them alive until morning. The ash is soft and gray, like warm snow, and it makes a shhshh sound as he scoops it with a wooden spoon. The embers glow under the ash, faint but alive, like tiny hearts beating in the dark. This is his job every night, making sure the fire doesn't die so they can wake to warmth. Hana watches, her head resting on her knees, the fire's light soft on her face. The banking of the fire is the final step, the last part of the dance, the signal that sleep is here. The room is darker now, the fire's glow almost gone, the shadows on the walls still and quiet. The air is cooler, but Hana's blanket is warm, and Taro's body next to her is like a little fire. Her parents are on their mats, their breathing slow, their snores starting to hum. Taro's puff-puff breathing is steady, his knees poking her side, and Momo's purring is a soft melody, tying it all together. The house feels alive, even in the quiet, with the creak of the walls, the tap of snow on the roof, the hum of the wind outside. These sounds are Hana's lullaby, rocking her gently, pulling her towards sleep. Hana lies down, the straw mat crinkling under her weight. The futon is lumpy but cozy, the rice husks whispering as she settles. She pulls the blanket over her, sharing it with Taro, feeling its heavy warmth pressed down. The blanket smells like wool and home, like the night she slept under it for years. Her hands are slow now, her fingers tired, her yawns coming one after another. The rituals are done, scarf folded, blanket smooth, latch checked, prayer said, fire banked. The dance is over and sleep is waiting, like a friend who's been there all along. The night outside is cold, the snow falling, the wind sighing. But inside the house is warm, the family close, the rituals complete. Hana's eyes close, her breathing slowing, matching Taro's puff-puff, her parents' snores, Momo's purrs. The fire's embers glow faintly under the ash, a promise of warmth for tomorrow. The walls creak, the snow taps, the wind hums, and Hana drifts, her thoughts soft, her body heavy, her heart calm. The rituals have led her here to this quiet moment to sleep. Hana settles onto her straw mat, the woven straw crinkling softly under her weight, like dry leaves whispering in a breeze. Her wool blanket, heavy and patched, is pulled up to her chin, its warmth wrapping her like a cozy hug. The small house is dark, the fire pit's embers glowing faintly like tiny red stars in the dirt floor. Her little brother Taro is curled up beside her, his knees poking her side, his breathing a soft puff-puff sound in the quiet. As Hana tucks the blanket around them both, she leans close and whispers to Taro, "We'll see tomorrow." It's not a promise, just a hope, soft as a snowflake landing on the ground. Her parents' voices, low and gentle, fade into murmurs across the room, their words blurring like ripples in a pond. The house quiets, its wooden walls creaking softly, ready to rest. Hana's eyes grow heavy, her breathing slows, and the final words of the day carry her towards sleep. The house is small, just one room with a dirt floor and a straw roof that keeps out the snow. The fire pit in the middle is the heart of the home, its embers covered with ash to stay alive until morning. The faint glow lights up the room just enough to see shadows on the wooden walls, soft and wobbly like they're dancing to a sleepy song. Hana's family, her mom, her dad, Taro, and their old gray cat, Momo, is gathered close, their mats spread out on the floor. The air smells like smoke and earth, a warm, familiar smell that makes Hana feel safe. Outside, the snow falls, a gentle pat-pat against the roof, and the wind hums through the pine trees, far away and soft. Inside, everything is calm, quiet, and ready for the night. Hana's whisper to Taro is a ritual, something she does every night. "We'll see tomorrow," she says, her voice so soft it's like a secret just for him. Taro is already half asleep, his eyes closed, his mouth open a little, his hair messy like a bird's nest. He doesn't answer, but his breathing changes like he hears her in his dreams. The words aren't a promise, because nobody knows what tomorrow will bring, especially in winter when the cold is so strong. They're a hope, a wish, light and delicate, like a snowflake that melts when it touches your hand. Hana likes saying these words because they make the night feel gentle, like the day is ending with a smile. She smooths the blanket over Taro, tucking it around his shoulders so no cold air can sneak in. The blanket is wool, heavy and warm, with patches sewn on where it tore last winter. It smells like sheep and home, a comforting smell that makes Hana's eyes droop. The blanket feels scratchy under her fingers, but it's soft from years of use, and it holds the warmth of their bodies like a cocoon. Taro shifts a little, his knees poking her side again, and Hana giggles quietly because it's so like him, even in sleep. She loves these moments when Taro is close, when the blanket is warm, when the house is quiet, and her whisper lingers in the air. Across the room, Hana's parents are settling down too. Her dad is on his mat, his big hands folded over his chest, his breathing deep and slow. He's already starting to snore, a low, rumbly sound like a faraway drum. Her mom is next to him, her mat close, her movements gentle as she pulls her own blanket up. They're talking softly, their voices low like a hum that blends with the fire's faint crackle. Hana can't hear the words clearly, they blur together like water running over smooth stones. Maybe they're talking about tomorrow's chores or the snow or something funny Taro did today. It doesn't matter. The sound of their voices is enough, like a warm blanket for her ears, making the room feel full of love. Hana's mom says something, her voice a little clearer for a moment, like a soft prayer. It's not loud, just a murmur, like she's thanking the day or asking for a good night. Then her dad answers, his voice deep and sleepy, and they both go quiet, their words fading into the dark. The murmurs stop, replaced by the steady rhythm of their breathing. Her dad snores, her mom's soft sighs. It's like the house is breathing too, settling down, getting ready to sleep. Hana listens, her head resting on the thin futon stuffed with rice husks, the mat crinkling softly under her. The sounds are her lullaby, rocking her gently, pulling her closer to dreams. Momo the cat is curled up at Hana's feet, her gray fur warm and soft. Her purring is a quiet rumble, like a tiny storm that's all love vibrating through the mat. Hana wiggles her toes, feeling Momo's warmth, and smiles because it's like having a little fire at the end of the bed. Momo shifts, her paws kneading the blanket, adding a soft rustle to the night sounds. The purring mixes with Taro's puff-puff breathing, her parents' snores, and the faint creak of the wooden walls, making a cozy song that fills the room. Hana loves Momo's purring. It's like a friend saying, "I'm here, sleep tight." The straw mat is simple, woven tight from dried straw, smooth but not soft. It smells like earth, like the fields where Hana works in summer, a warm, grounding smell that makes her feel at home. The futon is thin, lumpy, with rice husks that crinkle when she moves, like a secret whisper. The wool blanket is heavy, pressing down on her, keeping the cold away. Hana feels Taro's warmth next to her, his small body curled tight, his knees poking her side. The mat, the futon, the blanket, Taro, Momo, they're all part of her bed, part of her night, part of the quiet that leads to sleep. The fire pit's embers are covered with ash now, banked by her dad to stay alive until morning. The glow is faint, just a soft red light like a sleepy eye watching over the family. The room is darker, cooler, but Hana's blanket is warm, and Taro's body next to her is like a little heater. The shadows on the walls are still, no longer dancing, like they've gone to sleep too. The fire's crackle is gone, replaced by the soft sounds of the house, the creak of the walls, the tap of snow on the roof, the hum of the wind outside. These sounds are small, but they're enough, like a gentle hand guiding Hana to rest. Hana's whisper to Taro, "We'll see tomorrow," is still in her mind, soft and light like a snowflake. It's a hope, not a promise, because winter is hard and nobody knows what the next day will bring. But saying it feels good, like planting a tiny seed of light in the dark. She thinks about tomorrow just for a moment, maybe more snow to sweep, more wood to carry, more porridge to stir. But those thoughts are soft, not heavy, and they fade as she listens to the house, to her family, to the night. The wooden walls creak, a slow, low sound like the house is stretching before it sleeps. The straw roof keeps the snow out, but it lets in the gentle pat-pat of snowflakes, like tiny fingers tapping a lullaby. The wind outside is soft tonight, humming through the pine trees like a faraway song. Hana listens, her eyes closing, her breathing slowing. Taro's puff-puff is steady like a little clock. Her dad's snores are deep, her mom's sighs are soft, Momo's purring is warm. The house is quiet, but it's alive, full of these small sounds, full of love. Hana's hands are still now, resting on the blanket, her fingers tired from the day's work. She yawns, a big, quiet yawn, her breath making a little cloud in the cool air. Her eyes are so heavy, her blinks so slow, like her eyelids are ready to stay closed. The final words of the day, her whisper to Taro, her parents' murmurs, are gone, but they linger like a warm memory. The house is ready to rest, and so is Hana. She sinks into the mat, the crinkle of the futon fatting, the warmth of the blanket holding her tight. The night is gentle, the hope of tomorrow soft, and sleep is coming like a snowflake drifting down. Let's stay with Hana a little longer, feeling the quiet settle around her. The fire pit's embers glow faintly, hidden under ash, waiting for morning. The wooden walls creak, the snow taps, the wind hums. Taro's breathing is steady, his knees poking, his warmth close. Her parents' snores and sighs fill the room, a soft rhythm like a heartbeat. Momo's purring is a quiet melody, tying it all together. Hana's whisper, "We'll see tomorrow," is a hope, soft as a snowflake, carrying her to sleep. The house quiets, the night holds her, and she drifts, her thoughts blurring, her heart calm, ready for dreams. Hana lies on her straw mat, her wool blanket pulled tight to her chin, the heavy fabric warm and cozy like a big hug. The small house is dark, the fire pit's embers glowing faintly, like tiny red stars nestled in ash on the dirt floor. Her little brother Taro is curled up beside her, his knees poking her side, his breathing a soft puff-puff, like a little wind in the quiet night. Her parents are nearby, their mats closed, their snores humming low like a gentle song that fills the room. Momo, the old gray cat, is at Hana's feet, purring softly, her fur warm and tickly against Hana's toes. The wooden walls creak, the snow taps the straw roof with a faint pat-pat, and the wind hums far away through the pine trees. Hana's eyes are heavy, her body sinking into the mat, but her mind is soft and free, ready to wander into dreams. She believes dreams carry whispers from the kami, the spirits that live in the world around her. Maybe she dreams of a fox running through snow, a sign of good fortune, or a river frozen over, warning of scarcity. She doesn't fear these dreams, they're like stories told by the night, guiding her with their quiet messages. The house is small, just one room with a dirt floor and a straw roof that keeps the snow out. The fire pit is the heart of the home, its embers banked with ash to stay alive until morning, glowing soft and red like a sleepy eye watching over the family. The air smells like smoke and earth, a warm, grounding smell that makes Hana feel safe, like she's wrapped in the village itself. The wooden walls are old, patched with mud and straw, and they creak sometimes, like the house is breathing with her. The straw mat under Hana is woven tight, smooth but not soft, and it smells like the fields where she works in summer, a comforting, earthy scent. The thin futon, stuffed with rice husks, crinkles when she moves like dry leaves whispering secrets. The wool blanket is heavy, patched with bits of old cloth, and it smells like sheep in home, keeping the cold away. Hana loves dreams. She believes they're special, like messages from the kami, the spirits that live in everything, the trees, the river, the fire, the wind. Her mom taught her this, saying the kami speak through dreams, sending signs to help or warn. Hana doesn't think dreams are just silly pictures in her head. They're stories like the ones her dad tells by the fire, but these come from the night, from the spirits. She doesn't fear them even if they show something scary, like a frozen river or a dark forest. They're like friends, talking to her in a language only she can understand, guiding her through the winter with their quiet whispers. Sometimes, Hana dreams of a fox running through snow. In her dream, the fox is red, its fur bright against the white snow, its tail bushy and long like a fluffy cloud. It runs fast, its paws barely touching the ground, leaving tiny prints that sparkle in the moonlight. The fox looks at Hana, its eyes shiny and clever like it knows a secret. Hana's mom says a fox in a dream is a sign of good fortune, maybe a gift from an Ari, the kami of rice and prosperity. When Hana wakes from a fox dream, she feels happy, like something good is coming, like the spring will bring plenty of food or a warm day will melt the snow. She tells Taro about these dreams, whispering in the morning, and he giggles, saying he wants to see a fox too. Other times, Hana dreams of a river frozen over. The water is still, covered with a thick sheet of ice, like a mirror that doesn't shine. The trees around the river are bare, their branches heavy with snow, and the air is so cold it stings her cheeks, even in the dream. This dream feels heavy, like a warning. Her mom says a frozen river can mean scarcity, a sign that food might be hard to find or the winter might stay too long. When Hana wakes from this dream, she feels a little worried, but not scared. She knows the kami are trying to help, telling her to be careful, to check the rice jars, to make sure the family is ready. She doesn't fear these dreams. They're like a story that says, "Pay attention, Hana, take care." Hana's dreams are like stories told by the night, each one different, each one special. Some are happy, like the fox running free, bringing hope. Some are serious, like the frozen river asking her to be wise. Some are just soft, like dreaming of the fire pit glowing warm or the snow falling slow and quiet. She doesn't know what she'll dream tonight, but she's ready, her mind open, her heart calm. The kami will speak, and she'll listen, letting their whispers guide her through the dark. The house is quiet now, the family settled on their mats. Taro's puff-puff breathing is steady, like a little clock ticking in the dark. Her dad's snores are deep, like a drum far away, and her mom's breathing is soft, like a sigh that floats on the air. Momo's purring is a quiet rumble, like a tiny storm that's all love, vibrating through the mat. The fire's embers glow faintly, hidden under ash, a promise of warmth for tomorrow. The wooden walls creak, the snow taps, the wind hums, and Hana listens, her eyes closing, her body heavy. These sounds are her lullaby, rocking her gently, pulling her toward dreams where the kami wait. Hana's mat is cozy, even though it's simple. The straw is smooth, holding her up, smelling like earth and home. The futon crinkles, the rice husk shifting like a friend whispering good night. The blanket is warm, heavy, keeping the cold away, its patches soft under her fingers. Taro's warmth is next to her, his knees poking, his breathing calm. Momo's purring is at her feet, her fur tickly and soft. The room is dark but not scary, the embers glow enough to make it feel safe. Hana's mind wanders, soft and free, ready to meet the kami in her dreams, ready to hear their stories. The village outside is asleep, covered in snow, quiet and still. The houses are dark, their fires banked, their families tucked under blankets. The pine trees stand tall, their branches heavy, whispering in the wind. The sky is clear tonight, full of stars that glitter like scattered rice grains, sharp and bright, watching over the village. Hana can't see them, but she feels them like the kami are all around, in the stars, in the snow, in the dreams that wait for her. Her thoughts are soft now, like snowflakes melting, and she drifts, her breathing slow, her heart calm, ready for the night's stories.